press pause, put the controller down. It's time to talk about something extra. My name is TJ Leo.
I'm Andrew.
And this is sort of a follow-up episode to something we did just over a year ago, I want to say. We did a TierMaker about all of the video game console designs. So if you haven't checked out that episode yet, make sure you go back and watch that first, because today's episode, we're going to talk about handheld console designs.
Maybe the guy who just subscribed to the channel like minutes before we started recording could go check that out.
Yeah, he may.
Shout out to you, guy.
Yes, shout out to you, new subscriber. We appreciate you. Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. We have 24 handhelds to talk about.
Amount.
Yeah, it's a good chunk. More than I expected. I did leave off some from the list. Like mostly just failures. Mostly failures.
Oh, like, but the failures are so interesting.
Like the Gizmondo. I left that one.
Well, that's one of the ones I was thinking of.
Okay, there is a big fail. There is a big failure. I would say there's multiple failures on this list. With 24, there has to be.
Yeah.
But I did leave off some of the stuff and some of like the open source stuff. Like if we did all that,
yeah, there's a billion of those. It's not possible. Like all the Ambernick stuff, all the
Tiger Electronics. Kind of left all those.
Oh yeah. You texted me about those Tiger LCD games. And I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, Game and Watch was basically the same thing. So I was like, let's.
There's about a quadrillion of those things. Ultimately they're all just the same shape with different buttons and layouts.
Yeah. So we left.
It's
those
not a very
off.
good shape, so.
No. But I think I got a good swath of various.
Gizmondo would not have ranked very high anyway.
No, it'd be straight in the trash.
I don't know about trash, just in terms of like its physical design, but it would not.
True.
It would not do super well.
No, it would not do well. But we have 24 to go through, and these are in mostly chronological order. So, without further ado, let's get to the first one, which is the Atari Lynx.
Yes.
The Atari Lynx.
So it's not very attractive. It's kind of a gray slab.
Does this predate the Game Boy, or is it after the Game Boy? I know it's the same year as the Game Boy. I checked that, but I couldn't get a date.
I don't remember.
Yeah. It was the same year of release, but not sure if it came first or second.
I mean, if it's the same year, I figure whatever. One comes out a few months before the other. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. It does. This one has more buttons.
Yeah, so it's also a color screen.
It's very small color screen.
Yeah, but I mean, all the screens were small back then.
It's true. This one, for some reason, just looks smaller because the device is so large.
The device, yeah, exactly. It's like how the Game Gear screen looks smaller than the Game Boy screen, even though they're like the exact same size.
Yeah. I've never actually played an Atari Lynx. I've played a few games via emulation, but I've never actually.
Yeah, so have I. There are some that are okay, where you're like, wow, this is actually kind of decent. Why wasn't this on something that people actually owned?
Indeed. One question I have looking at this is, why is there an on and off button?
I don't know. You would think that could be consolidated somewhat.
Right? And then the other question I have is, why is there buttons above and below the speaker? That looks uncomfortable as friggin' hell.
Yeah. It's that is, I'm assuming we didn't have anywhere else we could put the speaker. This was before teeny tiny little speakers like you get in cell phones today.
Mm-hmm. It's also on one side as well. That must have been an audio nightmare. Just only sound on one side.
I mean, I don't think it matters. It's probably monaural sound, and if it's going to be covered by the palm of the hand,
that's probably, right. That's even that.
It's probably going to sound. It's probably going to sound bad regardless of where it's coming from. So,
good Lord. Yeah, I can't say this is great design. There's a bunch of just. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not good.
It is early, so people
Yeah,
didn't really know back then
but you would think, like, from an
the way they do
engineering
now.
standpoint, putting the
But yeah, it is
buttons
pretty
in the
obvious.
speaker,
Don't put
yeah,
don't put the speaker right where the palm of the hand goes.
and an on-off switch. It's like you guys couldn't have figured out one button. Okay,
Yeah,
what? There's a
yeah,
restart button I just noticed too.
huh,
Huh? What?
yeah.
What? Why?
Seems unnecessary, but
Seems unnecessary. Unless your software was so bad, you get like crashed or like froze or stuff.
yeah.
Weird. All right. Okay.
I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great. I have a feeling this is probably going to end up as like a high D or a low C.
Yeah, I would say D for now. But we can move it. Let's
Yeah,
let, let,
we
let's
can
see how
move
we
it if
feel.
yeah, we'll put it in D for now because it is pretty uninspired.
It is pretty bad. All right. Next up is, of course, the Game Boy.
Hmm.
Which, now that I'm looking at it, also has your hand over the speaker.
It does. For some reason I was thinking it was on the other side, but I guess that doesn't matter because it would also still be
Weird.
covered by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember it
yeah.
being an issue, but
Neither do I, but it is. I mean, um, we were kids when we were playing it, so our hands were smaller.
true. Yeah.
With adult-sized hands, it would probably be an
I'm
issue.
trying
When
to.
was the last time you played on an original Game Boy?
I mean, I guess it wouldn't cover the whole speaker. Now that I'm
Maybe not, but
at
still.
half of it, but still, it's not in a great spot. It should have just been below the select and start, right in the center.
Yeah,
But I guess
yeah.
there's a headphone jack at the bottom. I think
Um,
there's
there's
something
also
there.
there's also the battery compartment to consider, like how deep those go in.
Hmm.
Maybe there was more room around the edge of the device.
True. True.
I don't know. I've never taken apart a Game Boy before, so I don't actually know how it's laid out inside.
I have another question looking at this. It's one of those things where you don't notice things until you like do one of these shows where you just start
Hmm.
analyzing everything you're looking at. And why doesn't the bottom left corner have a curve? You would think it'd be more comfortable.
I've always wondered about that.
Weird.
Why is one corner curved and then none of the others are?
Just to give it a. I mean, the top two, I guess don't matter because you're not holding it up there. But the bottom
Yeah,
left makes total sense to have curved. It would be more
yeah,
comfortable. Weird.
yeah. I mean, it is technically like it doesn't end in a sharp point, but it's
No.
not rounded off the way that the bottom right is.
Right. Yeah. And then I think we have a the volume button is right here, right?
There's a volume slider and there's also a contrast slider, and I forget which one is which.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't complain about it. The only thing the only thing I remember complaining about with the Game Boy is the screen because it
The
was
screen is dog shit.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's one of the worst ever.
It's green. It's not backlit. It's blurry. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
shit.
the thing for me is just how smeary the response on it is. Like there are some games that I consider to just be unplayable on
There's a
it, like
lot of
Super Mario Land,
there's a
because
lot of ghosting.
the enemies are so small that they just disappear in the motion blur.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. The Game Boy Pocket like fixed that. The screen on that thing is like infinitely better.
Do we know how
We're not
much this
talking about the Game
cost
Boy
at
Pocket right
launch?
now. I believe it was $99 at launch.
That might be why. That's pretty cheap, even for back then.
I mean, yeah, it's $89, like or 89 like 1989
Hmm.
dollars, not 2026 dollars. Um, but that is still like that's cheaper than the Nintendo Entertainment System, which I believe launched at 150 or something.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
this thing did eat batteries pretty badly. I do remember that.
um,
Keeping
I
an eye
mean,
on that battery life or that battery. Whenever you saw that red beacon
yeah,
pop
yeah,
on, it's like,
yeah,
oh shit.
yeah. I mean, compared to the battery life we get today, it was pretty good, but that thing
Yeah.
uses four double A's, and I mean it
Oof.
depends on how you use it. Like if you plug in one of the lights into the extension port, it drains the battery way faster.
Yeah, I used to have one of those curly ones. That
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I had. I'm pretty sure we had the exact same type.
Yeah, it was like that purple.
Yeah, purple like with like a spiral so that you
Yeah,
could bend it,
and it
and
was
yeah,
incandescent or translucent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. We had the exact same one.
Yeah, it was okay at best.
Yeah, yeah.
um, I think it's a C. Maybe a
I
high
think it's
C.
a C as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a cleaner look than the Lynx.
yeah.
Um, the hardware's not as powerful, but we're not really judging it based on
No,
that.
no.
Um, the games are there are way more, and most of them are better, but we're also not judging it on that.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, I think C is a good place for it.
All right. Next
Decent
up,
start, but room for improvement.
decent start. Yeah, there's lots of room for improvement for sure. All right. Next up is the Game Gear.
Hmm. Um,
This looks way more
s-
comfortable, I will say.
it is. Oh man, even the speaker on this one is where the palm would go.
I don't know about that because it's got that like indent.
Yeah,
Maybe that's where
yeah,
your palm sort of ends up sitting is in that curve.
yeah.
So maybe it doesn't.
And again, I'm thinking of it with adult-sized
Yeah,
hands.
yeah. As a
Actually, you know
kid,
what? You know what? Hold on just a second.
do you have one? Oh snap!
You know what I'm doing.
He's grabbing it and finding out. Do you have the original Game Boy as well? Let's see. Do I have the original Game Boy? No, no, I do not.
There you are. Hello, old friend. Okay, so I am now holding my Game Gear. Oh, the screen needs cleaning. Hold on a second.
Mm,
Just
mm.
have that microfiber cloth. Okay, the screen on this thing has seen better days. There's some scratches on it, but I mean it's old. And holding it in the hand, uh, it it actually does not cover the speaker. It's just at the edge. So there are three like not actual holes on each side, and then you've got the five tall sets that are actually holes. When I hold it, the part of my palm beneath my thumb covers the first three fake holes and stops short of the real holes. So it's perfectly sized
Okay.
to
How does
not
how does the D-pad feel?
the D well, I mean it's a 90s Sega D-pad, so it's kind of mushy.
It looks a lot like the
Um
Xbox. Was it the Xbox one?
the Xbox it's not that bad.
It's not that
It
bad.
does look very similar.
Okay, but
Um
it's not as bad as the Xbox one.
no,
Okay,
it's
okay.
definitely got a snappier feel to it.
What about the one and two buttons?
Really fine.
They're good. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, this one's good. I remember Game Gear being heavy. Is it heavy?
Not super heavy.
No. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think I have batteries in it right now. In fact,
It's okay.
I'm certain that I don't because I know that they leaked, which is why I'm not going to
Yeah.
open the hatches to check. But
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds hollow. You know what? I am gonna take a little peek. I'm gonna be very careful. Oh, there are batteries in there, and they are
Oh.
crusty.
Yeah, I would imagine that's not good.
Yeah, I thought that I. Oh, you know what? That's probably my Game Boy because I know that my Game Boy had leakage. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of the crust around the side.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's nasty.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually
Here,
like the Game Gear design. I think it's kind of cool.
yeah, it's nice. It's easier to hold.
Reminds me of Batman. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it actually, yeah, it kind of looks like the Batman suit
Yeah.
from that Tim Burton movie because it's black and it's got that kind of plasticky look to it, just like the Game Gear has.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I don't like about it. No, I like that too. I guess the only thing that I don't like about it is something I can't hold against it, which is its library of games,
Yeah, the
which are not
library
great.
is not amazing.
But we're
There
not
is a
talking about
hole on the
libraries.
back
But
that looks like you know you know you know the post on tripods that you mount cameras on where you like screw the camera into it?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a hole on the back of this thing that looks just like that.
Weird. Maybe it had some sort
Even though,
of like accessories that attached to the
oh,
back.
maybe for mounting something, some kind
Yeah.
of accessory. Yeah, that's possible. These cartridges are way larger than I remember them being.
Hmm.
Like I remember them being a little bit larger than Game Boy cartridges. They're actually
Does it stick out of the top of the Game Gear, or is it snug?
oh, sits perfectly in flush, and in fact, the cartridge is even contoured in a way that matches the contouring of the corners on the system.
That's cool.
So it almost feels like a single piece.
Hmm. Just like the Game Boy. That's cool.
Yep.
So they
No
designed
end
that part
labels
well.
though.
Ooh,
So
I don't think Game Boy had that either, did they?
no, the Game Boy
Yeah,
didn't either.
yeah. Bad cartridge design.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like with them being as small as they are, would you even be able to read them on your shelf?
True. That's true.
You're probably just gonna pick them up anyway. So.
Um, I think I would give the Game Gear a B.
Um. Yeah. Yeah.
It might be the Game Gear's battery life that I remember being bad.
The Game Gear's battery life is pretty awful because
Okay.
it does have a backlit screen.
Yeah, yeah, and full
And it
color.
takes 6 AA's instead of 4 like the Game Boy.
Did you just say 6?
Yep.
Jesus,
Yep.
that almost knocks it down to a C. That's terrible. Holy crap. Okay, well, I just went from a high B to a low B. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's ugly. All right, well, B it is. B. All right.
It didn't have a better library of games, but
No, but that's a TierMaker for another day.
I guess unless you use the Master System converter, 'cause the Game Gear is just basically just a portable Master System, and so the games function on it totally fine. You just need something to adapt the pinout of the Master System cartridges to the edge connector in the Game Gear. But other than that, it's a totally passive device.
Right. All right. Next one is the TurboGrafx Express.
Yeah, so this is just kind of a Game Boy in a ski mask.
Yeah, or scuba gear. Yeah, yeah.
Or scuba gear, yeah.
Yeah. I like it. It's fat though.
It almost looks like a crewmate from this angle. Like the bumps on the back kind of look like the straps from like a backpack, so it kind of looks sus.
It does look a little sus. It almost looks like a cat. Modern, you know how
Oh
everything
yeah,
looks like a
that's
cat
true.
these days. You know,
Yeah.
is that green thing at the top the power button?
I believe it is. Yeah.
What's this? What's the stuff on the right there? Can't tell.
I'm assuming that one of those is a headphone port, and the other one, not sure.
Yeah, that's a weird one. It looks like some sort of connector. Oh, I wonder if you could connect it to the TurboGrafx.
Maybe. Or maybe that's like a rubberized like a plug to go in there to protect it from dirt or something, but then why wouldn't the other one have one?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never played a Turbo Express before.
Select run 2-in-1, 2-in-1.
Yeah, I think those are turbo switches.
That makes sense. D-pad looks nice.
Yeah.
Buttons look nice. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the speaker in the center,
Um,
or is that just a design? Because I don't see
I
a
don't
speaker.
know. I can't see any openings in it, but that's where you would ideally put the speaker.
Let me
Not sure.
let me Google this information. Turbo Graphics Express. There we go. All right. Let's see. Is there any other pictures? Oh, so the weird plug on the right side is a I think it's a radio plug. Because
Huh.
there's an attachment that it comes with, and it has channels. UHF and VHF channels.
That's a TV tuner.
Oh, so it's a TV tuner. Okay, not a radio
Yeah.
tuner. Well, there you go.
Huh.
What else we got?
I know that the Game Gear had a TV tuner, but it just plugs into the cartridge slot. So
Yeah, this one had like a dedicated,
interesting.
slot on it. Let's see. Hardware. Screen is 66 millimeters, 64 sprites at once, blah, 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 blah. Turbo Express had a backlit display. Turbo switches, you're correct on that. Sound failure is a frequent problem with Turbo Express due to faulty capacitors, which was an industry-wide issue in the 90s. Okay. I don't see anything about the other one on the side is the Turbo Link connection, which is
Okay,
for
so the link
connecting
cable.
another link cable. Yeah, I don't see anything about the bottom, so I'm assuming that is the speaker in the center.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't specify. It does say there is a headphone jack somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Okay. Maybe on the other side or on the bottom.
Yeah. I tried to get other like vantage points,
other angles of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great if we had like 3D scans of it that we could just rotate around.
That would be dope. Yeah, that would be dope. Okay, where are we thinking TurboGrafx Express goes?
Well, since it's basically the Game Boy, I'd say it probably goes in the same tier, but do we put it above or below?
I mean, the D-pad is hard to beat on the Game Boy. But
yeah.
Was it a fully colored screen?
I believe it was.
It is backlit. It is color. I'd say we have to put it. I say we have to put it above just for that alone.
That's fair.
But it'll probably stay next to it, though. I would imagine.
Yeah.
All right. Also, I just realized that I do have a couple of versions of Game Boys that are not on here, which we'll have to talk about them anyway. But unfortunate that I missed those. But we'll get to it. All right, next one. I completely forgot that this one existed until I did this research. The Nomad.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, it's basically
kind of a black slab.
It's a portable Genesis, basically.
It is.
That D-pad, or whatever you want to call that, looks ugly.
Yeah, that doesn't look great.
The heck? That looks nasty. Buttons look fine. They look pretty much just like the 6-button Genesis controller. Doesn't look very comfortable, though. It's basically a rectangle.
Yeah.
It looks more comfortable on the left. It looks like the left side is curved.
Yeah, it looks like one side is... It almost looks like it's wedge-shaped.
Yeah.
I've never played one of these, so I don't actually know how it feels in the hand.
Let's see. Genesis Nomad. Let's see if there's extra information here. Okay. Well, that's... Oh, yeah. It is kind of wedge-shaped.
Oh, no.
It's weird. So on the top, it looks like we have a charging cable port. It's a DC in.
Oh, that'd be for the AC adapter. If you want to play it, just plug in the wall
right.
Things batteries.
That's right. Handhelds had those. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an orange button on the top. I'm assuming that's
probably
power. But then there's another port on the top right above the buttons. I don't know what that is. I can't identify it. And then the cartridge inputs on the top as well. Speaker looks like it's an okay position. Let's see if there's any specifics about. Okay, backlit color screen, which I would hope so.
Of course.
6 buttons for compatibility with later Genesis releases. A red power switch, headphone jack, volume dial. I don't see the volume dial anywhere on any of the pictures.
Maybe it's on the bottom.
Maybe. Oh, the button on the port on the top right that you can't see that's above the buttons is a controller port.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
So you can plug in a second controller
in case you wanted to play multiplayer games on your Nomad.
Huddled together, yeah.
Wow. This one also took 6 AA batteries. Oof. And it had 2 to 3 hours of battery life.
Eee.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yep.
That's that's awful. 2 to 3
Mhm.
hours and you have to get new batteries. 6 new batteries, which is basically a whole pack that you would pick up at the grocery store.
Yep.
That's just
Better
gross.
better buy that AC adapter.
Yeah. Yeah. Which kind of doesn't make it portable at that point, does it?
Yeah. Well, it's basically it's a Genesis that you don't need a TV for.
Yeah. All right. Hmm.
Um, honestly, like I think I'd put it beneath the Game Boy
Yeah.
because
I was
it doesn't
thinking
look
that D-pad
super
just looks really
ergonomic.
bad.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the D-pad looks kind of bad.
And it was a commercial failure. Commercial failure. Sold about 1 million
Yeah,
units.
I'm honestly shocked it sold that many.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay. Let me move that into the bottom of C. And then our next one, Badook, is the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I mean this is it's basically just a Game Boy again, but it is smaller.
It is
It
lighter.
is considerably less bulky.
Mm-hmm.
This one you could actually reasonably fit in your pants pocket.
Yeah. I do not have the Game Boy Pocket version, which is basically the same thing as this, but
Very, very
smaller.
similar. The Game Boy Color is ever so slightly larger, but not by much.
Yeah. Um, and color was a pretty generous term. It had
Um,
a color or two.
no,
Um,
you could have a lot of color on it depending on the game.
okay, so the
It
Game Boy games, it was just like a color or two, and then Game Boy Color games, it was full color.
Yeah, so with classic Game Boy games, it basically worked like the Super Game Boy did, where it looks at the four shades of gray and assigns them different color values.
Right, right. Okay.
Um, and you could have like sprite layer and background layers could have different color palettes assigned to them, so you could basically get 8 colors max out of it
Hmm.
for those old games. For games that are designed for the Game Boy Color, you can have way more on screen at once,
Okay. Okay.
to the point that it looks a lot closer to an NES game, and sometimes better than that. Because there are also two types of Game Boy Color games. There are the kind that can also be played on an original Game Boy and will fall back to a grayscale palette. And then there are the kind that can only be played on the Game Boy Color, and those can have like the maximum number of colors. But I
Gotcha.
don't think there are a lot of those.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. It was a better version of the Game Boy, so I would say go to the top of C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Top of C again.
Also, kind of the beginning of Nintendo's purple era.
Yeah, especially with translucency as well.
Hmm.
Okay. Next up was one I don't have very much experience with, Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah, I've never played one of these.
It looks not comfortable. It's got flat sides,
Hmm.
and once
And I believe
again,
it has a stick instead of a D-pad.
it does have a stick. A stick. The stick.
I don't think it's even like I don't think it's even pressure sensitive. I think it's just a like a standard directional input, like an arcade stick, basically.
Yeah,
Because
it
this thing was mostly, from what I understand, mostly like fighting games.
makes sense. With 2 buttons. Oof.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It does have compatibility with the Dreamcast, though. Strangely enough.
Well, what kind of compatibility? Like a link cable type stuff?
Yeah, there were a small number of games that you could connect the Neo Geo Pocket to, and it would do something.
It would do something.
Yeah, I
Huh.
don't know what any of the games are.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't even know what to think of this thing. This is the let's see, what's the screen like?
I believe it's a grayscale screen. There
It
was a color version
is.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and new Neo Geo Pocket Color. There was 3 different versions of this one. Um, they all basically look the same though. They're just the screen's different.
Yeah.
Once again, it looks like there's a speaker on the bottom right, but it's actually on the bottom left.
Yeah, it's clearly on the bottom left.
I'm not sure what the point of the thing on the bottom right was, just to give it additional texture, I guess.
I guess.
Weird. Hmm. It doesn't look
Looks
comfortable.
it
It's
looks
flat.
okay, but the sides not being rounded probably makes it less comfortable.
Oh, how many batteries did it take?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's see. Battery. Oh, 20 hours of battery life with 2 AA's. So automatically it's better than a
Ooh.
Nomad.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. It also had an internal real-time clock. The Pocket Color introduced a reflective color TFT screen and extended battery life to around 40 hours.
Ooh.
Both systems include a stereo head jack, and like other non-backlit handhelds of the era, including the Game Boy line, require adequate external lighting for optimal visibility. Wait, so it's not backlit?
Apparently not. That's probably how they get that battery life out of it.
Wow. None of the versions were backlit? There's no way. They didn't add a backlight to any of the versions? Backlight.
Remember how long it took for Game Boy to have a backlight?
Yeah, no, none of them had a backlight. Yeesh. Okay. I guess just above the Nomad, I guess.
Sure.
It's kind of all over the place. It's hard to judge that one. Especially since we haven't used it.
Yeah.
But I would say based on what we know, that's about as good as it gets. Oh. I didn't think I put this one in here, but I did. The Wonder Swan.
Yeah, so this one uses only a single battery.
Looking up the deets as we speak.
This also had a grayscale and a color version.
Wow, 1 AA battery for 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For the standard version, 20 hours for the color version. Was it backlit?
I don't believe so.
No, it was not. That looks uncomfortable though. Why has it got 2 D-pads?
I don't know. I think
Smaller
the idea is that
hands or something?
you can turn it on its side and play like vertical
games with 4 buttons.
Yeah.
As opposed to 2 when you're in
and gripping like just the very bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the action buttons aren't at the top corner instead of the bottom corner. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Can't imagine it's tremendously comfortable. No. This thing did do decently well.
Yeah, it did better than the Game Gear. Did 3.5 million sales.
But we're not judging it by the software because there are actually some good games on this thing, but since we're not judging it based on that, I don't know, man.
It's pretty weak.
Yeah, like I can't imagine enjoying trying to use buttons like tucked way down in the corner.
Yeah, I'm like you gotta hold it like that.
Exactly.
Like what the hell? Where's the speaker? I don't see one. Oh, is it the top right?
Yeah, I think it's the top right there.
Oof, yeah. Yeah, this might be our worst one.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't cover the speaker though. That one, that the Atari likes having the speaker almost completely covered by your hand is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it looks more comfortable though.
Yeah.
So
I would rather have muffled sound and not cramped hands.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Okay, so let's switch. That is our new low. That is our new our new benchmark for a low. All right.
Hmm.
Next one. Game Boy Advance,
Hmm.
which I do
Great
have
system.
right here.
Hmm.
Do I have a game in it? No, I do not. I do not have the other version of this. What was the other one called?
Oh, the SP.
The SP. I do not have the SP in our list, so we'll have to maybe just do that without a visual. Um, I think this thing is pretty comfortable. It
Hmm.
was more comfortable as a kid though. Now my hands are a little bit too big.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of like empty space. Um, and also this one wasn't backlit either,
No.
which you would think they would have learned from the original Game Boy, but why do that when you can just release a second version of it later on?
Yeah. Yeah.
It did add two buttons, so it's got the nice clickers on the
I
top, which
always I
feel
always thought
good.
it was stupid that it didn't have X and Y buttons,
It does feel a little weird in a post Super Nintendo era to not have.
especially when there are so many Super Nintendo games ported to it.
Yeah, how did they deal with that? Did they just do these as alternative
They
buttons?
they they figured out other ways around it, and sometimes it wasn't great. Like I believe Street Fighter 2 Remix or Revival or whatever it's called.
Hmm.
Um I think you use L and R as modifier buttons for like
Ooh,
fast and heavy.
that's terrible. That's
Yeah.
terrible. Any idea? I've
Yeah.
always wondered. Is any idea what the little divots are? The
Oh,
two.
those are for holding in accessories. So
Oh, okay.
the certain accessories are heavy enough that you don't want to just have them mounted into the
Oh
extension
yeah,
port.
I do remember a lot of third-party like lights and like
Mhm.
zoom, like to make the screen look
Yeah,
bigger and all that kind of stuff. That must be what they used.
yeah,
Yeah. As a kid, I would say it's way more comfortable than as an adult. This is actually not comfortable at all, and the D-pad is fucking small. Like I know it doesn't
it
look
is.
that small, but it's fucking
Yeah,
small. Like it's tiny. My whole finger basically covers the whole D-pad. Like
yeah.
it's not good. The buttons are also small. That being said, though, we used it a lot as kids. So if we're talking about it as kids, I would say it's pretty good. Um, I don't think it's aged well for adults though. I can't really
Eh.
speak to the SP. Can you speak to the SP? I don't.
I can actually. Let me go grab it.
He's going to grab it, folks. While he's going to grab it, the SP. Get your minds out of the gutters. Patreon.com/co-op entertainment, where you can throw us $1 a month to help support the channel. We greatly appreciate you. And don't forget to join the Co-op Club Discord community server. You can find myself and so many others talking about gaming, wrestling, and more.
Okay, I have in my hands the keep case for Sonic 2 on the Genesis, and opening it up, my Game Boy Advance SP is inside. And if I take the cartridge out of the Game Boy, the game that's in there is Sonic Advance 2.
Is
So the SP
I know it's the
is,
clamshell design.
yeah, it's a little bit small. But that's kind of the point because it folds up into a neat little square that fits very nicely in your pocket. Um, Buttons are kind of flat, but that's so that they can achieve that slim form factor. They're very clicky. I
The
think they're
buttons.
tact switches under there, so they have that really distinct clicky feel, which is nice. It does have. It's actually a side light. The
Hmm.
lights are on the side. There was a later SP that does have lights installed behind the screen, so it's a true backlit screen. Um, Not a huge difference, although this one does have a little bit of. It's not really ghosting. It's just the way that the light reflects off of the glass on the screen.
Hmm.
does cause like a little bit of a fringe. It's not usually noticeable unless you're looking at like white text on a black background or something, but it is there.
Gotcha.
Um, this one also has a built-in rechargeable battery, whereas the standard
Yeah.
Advance takes double A's.
Yeah.
Now there is one problem with the SP. It's kind of a big deal. There is no headphone port.
Oh, that's odd.
Hmm.
Okay.
I believe Nintendo sold a um
An
a
adapter or something?
proprietary headphone that would go into the extension port,
Good lord.
but there
Okay.
is no standard 3.5 millimeter jack on this thing.
That seems like a big oversight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do the clamshell Game Boy Advance first. Still not backlit.
I mean, the light in there is good enough. Like it's not a problem. A backlight is a little bit better, but
Wait,
just
this
easily.
one this one had nothing. I thought.
Oh no, no, no. That you sorry, you said the clamshell. So I was
Oh,
talking about
oh,
the SP.
oh. What do you call this one?
That's just like the standard one.
Well, yeah. I thought it had a name. I thought it had a name.
No,
Hmm.
it's just the Game Boy Advance.
Okay. Well, if it's just the Game Boy Advance, I would say it's basically the same as the Game Boy with a slightly better screen. Well, it's not slightly better; it is better screen, but it's still not backlit. So I guess I would put it right above the WonderSwan.
Really, that
Oh,
low?
oh, sorry, not the WonderSwan, the TurboGrafx Express. Sorry.
You wouldn't put it above the Game Boy Color?
No,
Really? I
no.
would because I prefer the landscape.
Um, I just thought the Game Boy Color had a much better D-pad and buttons. Like these are just so fucking tiny.
And they're pretty tiny on the color as well.
Let me bring up the. Where's the picture? Are you sure?
You're
I
not
would.
getting a proper sense of scale from the
Okay.
photograph.
No, I wish I had. I wish I had a real one to take a look at. I mean, okay, I'll go. I'll go with Topacy. I'll go with Topacy. Let me go back. I have too many screens. But and then we don't have an image for it, but the light I would say would be above the Game Gear.
Yeah, it well, lack of a headphone port is kind of a bummer.
It's true. It does look better though.
It does like
Although
the
it
yeah, the
is it more and the battery is something we got to take into account. The fact that it's rechargeable and not
yeah,
sucking
oh,
up
that's
six
true.
six double A's.
Also, it is pocketable, whereas the Game Gear is absolutely not.
There you go. Okay. So
Yeah,
imagine, if
okay.
you will, the SP going above the Game
Is now
Gear
top of B.
at top of B.
If it had a headphone port, it would be an A.
Indeed. Well, you know what does have a headphone port, but it doesn't matter because it's a piece of shit.
Oh, the poor N-Gage.
Wah, wah. So for those that have never heard of this before, it was a phone and a game system, kind of.
Before that was like, kind of a common thing where phones just played like insane. Like you can get GTA 3 on phones, and you've been able to get it on phones for a long time.
Yeah, this thing was like, what would happen if you put a Game Boy in a phone, basically, except without the library of games.
No. So, this thing has a number of issues. And I think chief among them is that in order to swap games, you have to take the battery out.
Yeah, that is absolutely asinine.
That's
Absolutely asinine.
unforgivable.
Yeah, too many buttons as well. I mean, it's a phone, so what are you gonna
It's a
do?
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, but it just doesn't look comfortable. The games were not good. Not that that matters because
There
we're just looking at the the hardware. But
Yeah, there were a few decent games, but not a lot. And also some of those decent games are games that are on other systems. Like there's a port of Sonic Advance on this thing. That's a decent game, but it's already on the Game Boy Advance.
was it a color
And
screen?
also,
I can't remember.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
color and backlit screen. But do
Ooh.
you really want to play a Sonic game with a portrait oriented screen
Yeah, what a weird
so that
decision
you
that
can't
was.
see things? Well, there's actually a reason for that. Apparently, the Symbian operating system, which is what Nokia used and was common on a lot of phones of that era. Apparently, it can do square screens and it can do portrait screens, but I guess it didn't do landscape screens. That's what I've read, which seems strange and like
Yikes.
something that should be easily fixable.
Why would you even go
Um,
with it then? Why would you even
uh,
just
so compatibility with the phone ecosystem because you can install
Oh.
applications on Symbian phones.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's not beat around the bush. This is trash.
Yeah, this is not good.
This is a piece of crap. It was the taco, as they called it.
Yeah,
The taco.
yeah.
In
Because the other thing is that the microphone and the speaker are on the top, so you have to hold it up to your ear to talk on it in a way that just like sticks it out almost as far as it can possibly go.
you had me at you have to remove the battery to switch games.
Yeah, yeah, that is
What?
an unforgivable sin.
Makes no sense whatsoever. No sense. Okay. Let's move on to the original DS, which I
Mm.
have right here. It's a little
Mine
bright.
is somewhere around here.
Yeah. So this is the original DS
Mhm.
clamshell design, and it's wow. Those buttons are fucking tiny. Wow, I thought the Game Boy Advance buttons were tiny. Holy shit! Look at these things. Oh my god!
I
Look at
played
it.
it quite comfortably back in the day.
Holy crap! I'll admit it's not uncomfortable to play with the buttons. It's somehow I don't know how, but those buttons are so small. They're smaller than the Game Boy Advance ones. The D-pad is bigger, but the buttons are smaller somehow. Um, I thought that the design was fine, but this always looked like a prototype. It never looked like a finished product to me. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks like something that they. It looks like the beta version of a handheld for whatever reason. I don't know if it's how thick it is. You know, it's pretty thick. It's a thick daddy in comparison to its
Well, I mean,
sequel.
it's considering considering what it does, it's kind of expected that it would be thick. After they refined it, they got it thinner.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, it plays DS games here
Mhm,
and Game Boy Advance games here, which is
mhm.
pretty cool feature. Surprised that they did that. In all honesty, very surprising.
Yeah, I think they did that because they were uncertain to whether or not it would be a success, and they wanted to give it like a big library right out of the gate.
Right. Well, it was a success, all right.
Yeah, it was a pretty tremendous success.
Yeah. Um, without talking about its next iteration, which we'll get into in a minute, it's fine. It is backlit. It is great color. It's got 2 screens, which is crazy. It is a clamshell design to protect the screen, which is always a nice feature as well.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh, I still have my stylus. It comes with a stylus,
Yep.
which
It even came with
still works well.
with a strap.
Yeah, it's got it. Mine's got it on it still. There it is, right there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard to find anything to complain about besides the fact that it's kind of ugly. It's just.
I don't think it's ugly. I think it's.
I
definitely think that it's a little unrefined.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's ugly.
I don't know, especially when you look at it from this, it just doesn't look
It it,
nice.
it does look a little weird from that angle. Yeah.
It's just. It definitely
the
feels
top
like a
should-
beta version.
The top should sit flush with the bottom, I think.
Yeah, it definitely should.
But I honestly, that's like the only complaint I have about its design.
Let's see. Let me look for. Okay, so speakers are above. They're in here. That's good.
Yeah,
So your hands are
stereo
not against
speakers.
them. Stereo speakers. Yeah, both sides. Microphone in a good spot. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it. A little microphone
Yep.
there. You got your power lights right here. Let's see. Is that power at the bottom? Nope, that's volume. I've got a volume slider at the bottom here. Headphone jack right here. Which actually I guess for some people that spot for the headphone jack would be a little uncomfortable because when your hand is
Yeah,
there, it'll
I think
bug
this
it.
is a case of that was the only free space they could find to put it.
Yeah, I don't see any other spot that you could have put it because on the top is where the recharge port is.
Yeah.
And then I think, yeah, and then your stylus is on the other side. So
Yeah.
it definitely needed some refinement, but it's not bad. It's just I still think it's ugly, but it's functional.
It's
So
super functional.
I would go with above Game Gear for this one.
Oh,
in
yeah,
B.
absolutely.
Okay, which leads us to the DS Lite, which is what
Now this is the much
better,
sleeker version of it.
much better version.
Yeah, that's basically like two Game Boy SPs side by side.
Look at how sexy
For
that
how
is.
for how much cleaner it looks.
And not only that, but the buttons feel better. They're a little bit bigger. I don't know if you want to see. Yeah, they're a little bit bigger. The D-pad has like a little bit of that concave in the center feeling.
Mhm.
So it feels a little bit nicer. The screen, I believe, is slightly bigger. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Screen on the bottom is definitely bigger, which is nice as well. And it's smaller and it's lighter. It still has the let's see if I can get this out. Still has the DS and Game Boy Advance slots, just like the original, which is nice. I still even have the plug. That's what that was. the plug.
Keep dust out. Yeah.
Yep. Still has the volume and headphone jack on the bottom. And then has a different plug for powering it on the top. It doesn't have the big beast anymore. It's got the smaller beast, I guess. And then what did this one have on top that it's missing? There's something. Oh, the stylus. Where's the stylus? Oh, yeah, the stylus is on the side now instead. It's right there instead of on the top. I assume because it's not long enough. Let's see. Yeah, that's why. Because the stylus is bigger than the actual console.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this thing is sexy. Like, even, I mean, I know I like the color is sexy too, but like it's just it's hard for me to imagine at that time. Oh yeah, and then they moved the microphone to the middle. I don't know if you saw that. See the little dot in the middle.
I kind of wish you could get them in the silver paint job that the original DS has.
You like that silver, right?
Yeah, I do like that silver.
I mean,
this is like other than like colorway isn't really the issue here.
No, it is beautiful though. I love this version of it, the black and white.
Yeah, it is definitely a better design than the DS. I would say that this is an A tier.
Yeah,
it doesn't really sacrifice anything, and it does make it slimmer and cleaner looking.
Agreed, 100%. I don't know if it'll be our top spot, but it's going to be an A for sure.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward. The PSP. The first version of the PSP. I thought I had one. I know I have a PSP.
Couldn't find it.
That's odd. Huh. That is weird. I know I have one. And they're usually all on display. Oh, unless this is the one that the battery exploded on me. That's possible.
Oh.
So I don't know if you heard about that, but PSP started exploding.
Oh,
at a certain
because of the
age.
battery age.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
battery age. They were slowly they were like expanding
Yeah.
inside people's
Yeah.
PSPs, and eventually it would pop. I don't think mine ever
Yeah. I've heard
popped, but
about
I
that.
saw the. I think I remember seeing the back swelling, and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get rid of this.
Yeah.
So that I think that might be
Somehow the
why.
battery in my SP has not swelled. Maybe it's just not a high enough capacity to have that problem or something.
Yeah, my DSs are fine. I don't know. Maybe it was just a faulty battery or like just a bad early battery. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, who knows?
Um, the PSP was interesting. I like the D-pad. It was pretty comfy.
Mhm.
The buttons were comfy. The clickers on the top were very reminiscent of the Game Boy Advance clickers. They were very
Mhm.
comfy as well.
Yeah, the only problem is the little nub
The
for the
thumb nub.
stick.
Yeah,
It's in a very weird place.
this little
I mean, I'm
doodad.
not I'm not really sure where else they could have put it, but
Um,
it's
well, they did refine this with the Vita, which we'll get to. Um, so there was definitely a better way of doing it. I don't know why companies went to the thumb nub style. I guess it was the idea at the time, but yeah, it's not comfortable and it doesn't work very well. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's like a slider. It
Yeah,
slides
it's
in a radius from a central point.
yeah,
Yeah, it's easier to have it flat. If it's
yeah,
sticking out, it can get jammed down and damaged and cause drift.
yeah. That's true.
So
Uh
so I get it,
oh,
but
this thing also used UMDs, which was terrible.
yeah, yeah. So this has always driven me nuts because it's like you had mini discs, Tony. You already had. If you really wanted to put discs in this thing, which you shouldn't have, because it kills the battery life to have to spin a motor. But if you really wanted to put discs in it, you had a disc format already. You know.
So this was the era when Sony and PlayStation were cocky. And so
Yeah.
the PS3 and the PSP, they were like they felt like they were untouchable, and so they were like, well, let's just make everything proprietary, and
Yep.
fuck them. I think the PSP also had a memory card that was proprietary. I could be wrong on that.
So it wasn't exactly proprietary. It used the Memory Stick Duo,
Right.
which was a smaller form factor for the memory stick, and I believe it was the first device to use the Duo, but it wasn't the only one. There were like cameras and stuff that would use memory stick Duos later on. It was just this is what introduced the format, kind of like how there's SD and then there's mini SD and micro SD. It's just a smaller form factor.
Right.
Um, but the Vita did have a proprietary memory card.
Right. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Um.
always thought it was really stupid that, and obviously this isn't exactly an issue with the system's design, but I always thought it was stupid that Sony was like, we're going to call this format the Universal Media Disc,
Even though
and
it's only for the PSP.
we're going to sell a bunch of movies on it, so you can build up a movie collection, but it will only work on the PSP. They never made anything else that used it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just PSP. So it's like, oh, you bought this movie on DVD. Now buy the UMD version of it. Oh, and don't forget to buy the Blu-ray when you get a PS3.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what their thinking was with the UMD at all.
With that said, I do remember the video quality on those things to actually be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have one.
Yeah, well, didn't it come with a copy of Spider-Man 2?
Maybe I don't have it anymore. I think mine came with a copy of National Treasure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the picture quality on them was
Yeah.
actually decent.
Screen was huge. Screen was nice.
Mm.
Yeah. There was
Mm.
nothing. It didn't feel like they cut any corners. That's for sure.
No.
It was fairly comfortable. Yeah, there wasn't really any issues with it besides the thumb nub and the UMD. Those were two big red flags.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
You could also use it as a portable media player, which was still a novelty back then.
Yeah. I guess above the Game Gear? I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, do I like it more than the DS? I it because like
Oh, that's what you're
I
thinking.
think
Okay.
I think the design is nicer, but then it also has like some of those qualities that are kind of a problem.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Um, as like, it also doesn't get easier when you bring the game library into it because there's really good games on both.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the biggest competitor that Nintendo ever had in the handheld space for a reason. It's because there were a whole bunch of really good games on this thing.
Yeah. And it was sleek and sexy.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. I would say if it didn't have the UMD problem and the thumb nub problem, I would say it would be above DS. But because of those
Oh yeah,
things,
for sure.
I would say it's
Yeah,
below. Yeah.
yeah. The UMD thing was is just such a stupid move, and they knew because
Oh
they
yeah.
didn't do it for the Vita.
Yeah. They also knew because they removed it
Oh,
in
here
the
we
next
go. It's the
version,
yeah,
the PSP
yeah,
Go. So for those that don't know, it is slid down. So there was a slider
yeah,
that came down for the controller.
yeah. This was in that era where it was like, what if we put buttons behind the screen and you slid them apart, which is not a terrible idea.
No, I had a
As
BlackBerry. What was it called?
one of I don't
The
remember all the
Curve was the
BlackBerry.
one with the keyboard that was out.
Yeah,
BlackBerry. I'll look it up.
yeah.
Well,
Um, yeah.
Torch. I think it was
This
Torch.
was
Torch.
this was not a
Yeah.
bad idea as long as the sliding mechanism remained in good shape and was able to like latch properly at both the beginning and end of travel. Because if that fails, you the thing basically just flops, like sliding in and out with no way to secure it, and that's a problem. So if as long as that slider mechanism remains usable, it's a good idea. Now this was interesting because this was at a time when digital distribution was still kind of a new thing for game
Mm,
systems,
yeah.
and the big problem here was that not every game on the PSP had a digital version.
Yeah, that's true. So the UMD only games you could not play on this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Now, I don't remember if by the end of the system's lifespan everything was available digitally or not. I think they might have been.
I'll
Um,
Google that real quick for you.
but the PSP came out in a very sort of transitory time. Um, so it yeah, not there were a lot of games that just didn't have digital versions. So that definitely limited the appeal of the PSP Go initially.
Yeah,
Though
it
it
said.
does have a
Sorry, it said. While many major hits and classic titles were made available on the digital storefront eventually, numerous licensing issues, niche titles, and older games remain strictly physical only.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's like this is clearly like an afterthought
Yeah.
because if they knew they were going to do this from the beginning, they would have put language in the contracts that hey, you also give Sony permission to distribute games digitally through the internet.
Yeah.
The fact that not all games are available like that means that they didn't do that. They probably started doing it at some point, but it definitely wasn't in there from the beginning. Otherwise, they would have been able to pull all of them up.
Yeah, this was a sign of things to come in the future.
Definitely, but also a little bit too early.
Yeah, definitely too early. Um, Design wise, though, it was kind of cool. It still had
Yeah.
the thumb nub problem. The screen wasn't as big.
Hmm.
It couldn't play every single game.
Yeah.
Uh, I would say either top of C or bottom of B.
Um. Yeah. I'll say bottom of B because I do like the slider mechanism. I do like that it has a longer battery life because it doesn't have to run a motor. I kind of wish it had been a clamshell though, just to protect the screen.
Yeah, the fact that you would slide that into your pocket screen first is like,
Yeah. It's not like it's a touch screen like with a phone where you're going to
no,
want to be able to check it immediately. So
indeed. All right.
I think they were just trying to be different.
Next up is the 3DS, which I have right here. So the 3DS did not have the Game Boy Advance section anymore. It just had DS 3DS slot on the top here.
Yeah. And that was gone with the DSi.
Yeah.
The upgraded DS that almost no games took advantage of because it came out so late in the DS's lifespan.
That pointless system.
Yeah.
Now, it does have a stylus which goes back in the top this time because they were able to shrink it. It's really, really tiny, but you could extend it, which was really nice.
Yep.
Very nice idea. So that was a smart thing that improved upon the DS Lite. And then inside, quite a bit different. We have the D-pad and the buttons, but we also have the again the slider, the thumb nub, which for DS or 3DS games, I thought the thumb nub worked just fine in comparison to the PSP slider, which
it's in a better spot for sure.
It's in a better spot. It feels a little bit better. The games were kind of felt more designed for it.
Yeah, like tuned for the fact that the player would have to slide this thing instead of being able to just tilt it in little tiny increments.
Yeah.
I think there was probably a lot of work that went into tuning the responsiveness of it for that because you kind of have to.
Yeah. The D-pad looks a little smaller than the DS Lite D-pad. The buttons are definitely smaller than the DS Lite buttons, so that's a little unfortunate, but it is hard to tell the difference, but they are smaller. But for the most part, it feels exactly like a DS, just with a bigger screen on the top, which I know is hard to see because I have a ring light. But yeah,
it's a wider aspect ratio. Weird that they went for separate aspect. I mean, I know why. It's because they wouldn't be able to fit a wider version on the bottom. Like you can just clearly see on the picture that it's, if they tried to extend it the way that the top screen is, they would start cutting into where the buttons go.
Yep. They did move the headphone jack into the middle, which is nice. Don't have the problem of hitting it with your hand anymore.
Yeah, there's no Game Boy cartridge slot in there, so
yeah. And then
best place to put it.
On the top, we had the charge port over here and an IR sensor right here.
Oh, that's right. It did have IR.
I really don't remember it ever being used in any game though. But it is there.
I think there's a few.
Oh, I'm sure there's some, but
that use it for like some weird thing. But yeah.
But obviously, the big thing with the 3DS is the fact that it's got
that reminds me. The Game Boy Color had an IR emitter on it as well.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? It did. But yeah, the big thing with 3DS is that it had a 3D camera on the outside and on the inside that was able to provide a 3D image without glasses, which did actually work quite well.
It did, yeah. I was always impressed with how good it worked.
Yeah, as long as you stayed in that butter zone, it was beautiful.
Yeah, there's definitely there's kind of like an angle, like a critical angle that you need to be within.
I wouldn't even say an angle. Yeah, definitely an angle, but also is like a level of like zoom. Like
right, you had to have it within a right, and there's a slider on the screen to kind of adjust the intensity, positioning for the depth. Yeah.
Now, I don't have this one on the list, but there was also the 3DS XL, which I think is the best version of
it's just
the
a larger.
3DS. It is fucking massive. I can't believe how big this thing is in comparison. It's freaking huge. Let's see if I can do a little.
There were so many variations of the 3DS. It's kind of nuts.
God damn, I still have trouble realizing how big this thing is. That is crazy.
Yeah, there's like 6 different versions of this thing. It's
yeah. I didn't put any of them on, but I thought I would show the gigantic, like this thing. I'm still gobsmacked about how big this thing is. If you ever in the market for a 3DS, get the XL. It's a much better version. It does have a weird stylus though that does not extend.
It's
Unfortunately,
not telescopic.
no,
Yeah.
and it's got this big like nub at the end for some strange reason. But minor detail. It's still comfortable unless you have big hands. If you have big hands,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
gonna have
if you have big
problems.
hands, then there's going to be no way to make a stylus comfortable.
Also, I didn't realize this until now, but the 3DS XL has more buttons. I did not notice that. It has 2 extra buttons on the back. One here.
What are they?
It's ZL,
Oh,
ZR, and
oh, is this the new 3DS
Oh,
XL?
maybe that's what this is. The new 3DS. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Does it
Yeah.
have?
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
New
So
3DS.
So for people who don't know, there was the 3DS and then there was the 3DS XL, which was the larger version. Then there was the 2DS because Nintendo was
Fuck.
concerned. There was some study out there that suggested that very young children should not use stereoscopic 3D stuff. Um, it's probably amounts to nothing, but after the Pokemon like seizure debacle, Nintendo has been ultra ultra paranoid of anything that might like cause harm to children related to their products, which is why they've added a health and safety warning at the boot up of games, where it's like, hey, if you
Everyone
have,
does
I
now.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, well, and they were always in the manuals, at least as long as I remember. Like even back on the NES, I remember them saying like, "Hey, if you have epilepsy, consult the doctor before playing." But after the Pokemon thing, they started adding it to the boot up of every game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because they didn't want like a debacle where kids were going permanently cross-eyed from playing the 3DS, they released the 2DS, which is a 3DS that does not have the stereoscopic effect.
And it's not a
Uh,
clamshell design either.
no, it is a solid slate.
Yep. It's just like this, but two of them on top of each other.
Yep,
It was
yep. It just
terrible.
looks like the 3DS open all the time. Um,
Yep.
then they also made a 2DS XL, which I believe is a folding design.
Jesus.
Then, so here's the thing. Um, Games for the 3DS started getting pretty advanced, and developers were like, "We need more inputs." So Nintendo released an attachment that added a second control stick and additional shoulder buttons, so that it basically had the same number of inputs as a standard game controller.
Yep.
And it was an ugly thing that you
It's
just sort
terrible.
of
Yeah.
attached to the DS. But then they also made the new 3DS, which had a slight spec boost. It had like a faster processor, and it also had those extra buttons added on.
And
And
a
I
thumb
think,
and a thumb nub right here.
yeah,
Right.
it's the tiniest little thing.
It's so stupid. So it's hard to
Yeah,
show on this, but no, that's not a button. That
no,
is
it
a
is.
basically like a if you ever used a thumb nub on a Lenovo keyboard back in the day
Yeah, on
that
a
was
on a
stuck in the
ThinkPad.
middle of
Yeah,
your
yeah, and
that
it doesn't move. It just responds to the amount of pressure that you put on it.
yeah, and you can move it left and right just like a D-pad, but it doesn't actually move. It
It doesn't
just
actually move.
detects.
It's just a pressure sensor underneath what it looks like a pencil eraser,
Hmm. Hmm.
basically.
Yeah, it's
I
terrible.
actually like those things.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
I like them better than touchpads because I always hit the touchpad by
Yeah, that's
accident.
fair. Although, you know, I would. Why didn't they
This,
just
I
make
mean,
another one of these? I don't know.
yeah, and why not just put it beneath the face buttons on the other side so that it matches up with you've got that symmetry there. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. And then, of course, they also made the 3DS XL because they had to make a big version of everything. So there are 6 variations of this thing. And at
It's
some
crazy,
point, they were all being sold and
crazy.
manufactured at the same time.
But yeah, this is
Um,
definitely the best version that you can get of the 3DS line. Is the 3DS,
yeah.
the new 3DS XL, I should say. So get that
Yeah.
version.
I think there was, I know that there were games that were 3DS, Jesus
New
Christ.
3DS
Three,
only.
New 3DS only, but I think there may have only actually been one. Like, I
Yeah,
know it
it
was
wasn't
possible
big.
to do them. But I think the 3DS port of Xenoblade is the only game that actually requires the new 3DS.
Uh,
At least probably the only one released here. I don't know, maybe there were more in Japan or something, but
There's actually quite a bit.
it,
Xenoblade Chronicles, Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Fire Emblem Warriors. There's a bunch of other ones here I've never heard of in my life.
huh.
Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Whole bunch of like indie games that I've never heard of. That's about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's about I would say 20 to 25 games on here.
Okay, that's not too many, but it's definitely more than I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, these things are neat. I never ended up owning one. Um,
the new 3DS.
no, just a 3DS period.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, which I don't know how that happened because I was like, yeah, I kind of want one of those. And then I think it was just there was always something else that I wanted and would chip away money.
Mm.
Like, oh, there's a new game, buy that. Oh, I don't quite have quite enough for a 3DS. It just always kind of fell by the wayside.
Head on over to
Um,
Microplay and buy one. I don't know. I
but
don't know
they're
how much
they're
they are now though.
they're apparently really easy to hack, so I could probably just like put a bunch of emulators on it or something.
Probably. Yeah.
Actually, on that note, this did have its own virtual console.
Yes, it did.
Um, Purchases did not carry over, but there were some games, like some retro games, that got 3D conversions that used the stereoscopic
Yep.
screen. Like there's 3D Space Harrier, which
Ooh,
actually
that would be
has a
trippy.
proper depth effect to it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean 3D Space Harrier as in the Master System game that uses the red green glasses and gives you
Yep.
headaches. I mean like actual arcade Space Harrier.
Yeah. Also, funny story about the 3DS is that they overpriced it when it first came out,
Yeah, yeah, I remember
and
that.
they dropped the
They,
price after like 3 months, something like that.
yeah, they cut it by like $50 or something, and then they gave people who bought it early a bunch of GBA games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they gave
yeah.
you. I think I got 6 games total, so it was like 3 GBA games and 3 NES classics that came out on the 3DS eShop. So I think I got
Mhm.
Metroid and some other ones, which was
Yeah.
very interesting at the time. Very interesting. But
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, though, looking at this thing makes me want to play it. So I might be playing some 3DS over the next
Yeah.
little
And
little
there's
bit.
some really good games on that thing.
There is. All right,
The Metroid 2 remake is on the 3DS.
Metroid
Good game.
Returns. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, so we're talking base 3DS.
Base 3DS.
Base 3DS. I mean, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it,
I mean it's basically everything that the DS is.
but better.
Minus the GBA port,
Minus the
but
GBA port, but with a bigger screen and the
the
3DS
bigger
effects.
screen, 3D effect, which is I would ding that if it didn't work so well, like if it was
Oh yeah,
crap
it's
and
amazing.
everybody just turned it off. But no, it works super well. Um,
I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like it has to go above the DS. 'Cause it like, and the headphone jack's in a better spot. It's got a better stylus.
mhm.
It's a better DS. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
and it
besides the
plays all your
GBA,
DS games.
and it plays
Yeah,
all the
but I mean
DS.
by that point, like,
Yeah, it's hard.
you know,
It's hard to hold it against it if it can't play the previous generation, the
especially if
previous
it
generation.
yeah, especially because you have to fit it in such a compact form factor, and if that compromises the hardware, then yeah, I'd say they made the right move getting rid of it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's a good place for it.
and I would put the new 3DS XL right above it. This bad boy is number one on the list so far. This thing is amazing.
It's the most functional version of it.
I can't, like look how big that screen is. It's freaking huge.
Yeah.
It blows my mind how big that screen is. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got to a point where like handhelds were really big and then they were really small and now they're getting big again.
No,
Like
they're getting bigger.
remember when cell phones used to be like absolutely petite and now
They're fucking huge. Like
everything is like almost a miniature tablet now.
mine is the perfect size to me. I wouldn't want to go above this because I see people and I talk to people and I look at their phone and I'm like it's like 50% bigger than this and it just looks massive and I'm like is that a phone or a tablet? Like you said, they're huge.
My phone, which is a Sony Xperia, is taller than the GBA SP opened up, and it's almost as long as the Game Gear. It's about an inch short of how long the Game Gear is.
Yeah, look at that. It's the same height basically as a 3DS XL. That's pretty huge.
This is supposed to be a thing that you can pull out of your pocket quickly to take calls.
Yeah. Which I can put this in my pocket barely, but it does fit in my pocket. Mm-hmm. But all of these would as well.
Yeah, like it's the kind of thing, like, you know, when you see the folding screen phones that fold down into like a square.
Yeah.
And you're like, why would you do that? But then you look at the size of the Slate form factor phones, and you go, yeah, I kind of get it.
I've always wanted one of those foldable phones.
Yeah, but they're so expensive.
They're super expensive, and it just worries me that the crease would eventually damage it.
But yeah, and the cameras generally aren't as good, and the battery life isn't as good.
They'll get there eventually. Where they're
but the thing is, the batteries can't fold, so they're always going to end up being smaller than the battery cells in a.
Oh no, I meant like they'll get there with the technology with the foldable screens. Where it'll be a norm. I think at some point where it's just like if you want a bigger screen, you just fold it out. That'll be normal.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Next up, the Vita, which I do have right here, which looks small comparison to the 3DS XL, doesn't it? Let's see.
It just looks like the bottom half of one.
Oh, it's a little bit bigger. But
it's a little bit wider.
It's a little bit wider.
Not by a whole lot.
No. Let's see if the screen is bigger than the 3DS screen.
I don't know.
They're pretty big. Let's see. So we got that, and we got that. I would say they're
pretty close. They look pretty close.
That's a close call. I would say the 3DS is.
Well, is there a dark bezel around the 3DS screen?
If there is, I can't see it. There is a. You can see the bezel. See it?
Yeah.
There is that. Okay. But I'm not counting that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's. I think the 3D. I think the 3DS XL slightly bigger.
It might be.
I think it's slightly taller.
The Vita screen is a higher resolution.
Oh yeah, it's way higher resolution. This thing's amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
And there's the back.
The back is it's not really a touch screen, but it is touch sensitive.
Yeah.
But you can touch the screen without covering the screen.
Yeah,
I always thought was a neat idea.
In my opinion, this might be the most comfortable handheld console ever. It is. It is rounded on the edges, which is beautiful. It has these little divots in the back for your fingers, so you can kind of hold it like that. Nice little, or you can do it like that instead. Very, very comfortable. It does have that back touchpad. It's got the 2 sticks. Camera. It does have 2 actual sticks.
Yep, they're actual sticks, like on the Joy-Cons.
They don't click, but they do act like sticks.
It also doesn't have L2 and R2 buttons, but like, who cares?
It actually technically does. That's what these are.
Oh, on the back, you can.
Those 2 spots are the
okay.
L2 and R2. That's how they designed the game. There are other features that you can do with this,
but you can use the touchpad.
Yeah. So instead of doing this, you do this.
Yeah, and I mean the DS kind of did that, where if you needed more buttons, there would usually be like touch buttons on the touch screen.
Yep. Now, one thing I've just noticed that has not been a problem that we've talked about for most of since the beginning. What's the problem that we talked about in the beginning on the beginning consoles?
The speakers, they are on the sides here.
They are completely covered by my hands when I'm playing. I just noticed that. Now, I will say I don't remember that being a problem, but it is weird. It is weird, like completely covered. Completely covered.
Now, are you like pressed down on them, or are they just sort of like, do you actually make contact with speaker holes?
I guess it depends on how you play.
Like how you grip it?
Because if I play it like that, yes, they do. But if I play it like that, then no, they don't. So maybe that's how I play, and so it didn't actually cover them.
Yeah, you don't really think about it when you're playing. It
seems like I'm trying to like pretend like I'm playing it, and I seem to be doing the bend. So I don't think they covered them. So it seems good. Got your charger on the bottom and your headphone jack in the middle there. And then on the
spots for them.
uh, top you got
Also,
the
we didn't mention this for the PSP either, but there's like a lanyard
yep.
spot on it
There's
in
two
the
on this
oval
one.
frame.
One right there, and one right there. So I guess for
Yeah.
lefties and righties, I guess there was only a lefty for the PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah. These feel good. On the top, you've got a can't see power button. That's where the cartridges for the PS Vita games go. I think that is a SD card, or that's the proprietary memory slot, I believe. It's
Yeah.
right there, and then you got your volume control there.
Now, honestly, the proprietary memory card is like the only miss on this thing's design.
100%. It's the only
Everything
that's
else is a win, and
even the
it's fucking
UI is amazing. It's
yeah. It's fucking criminal that Sony just kind of abandoned this thing after like 2.5 years.
yeah, it is easily my favorite handheld of all time. Easily,
Yeah,
I played the
it's
shit out of
just
this thing.
yeah.
It's a shame.
It's yeah. They had a hit, and
They
they were
had
just like,
they had the
nah.
best hardware on the block, and for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know. I think the problem that they had was they were going after what everyone assumed they would go after, which is let's play console games on the go, which
Mhm.
nowadays makes total sense because we have the hardware to do it. At that time, though, as good as the Vita was hardware wise, it still didn't quite get to that
Didn't quite get
level.
there.
It was
Yeah,
just a hair below that. It was
yeah,
more like instead of an on the go PS3 or PS4, it was more of an on the go PS2.
yeah.
It did look better than a PS2, but in terms of like its technological power to do things, gameplay wise and feature wise, uh, it felt like the games were PS2 games. But this was an indie machine. I played the shit
Yeah.
out of indie games on this thing. It was
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, and I mean that's where most of the later life support for it came from.
Yeah, the digital store.
Because
Yeah.
when Sony just kind of quietly put it in the corner, um, you started to see bigger developers and publishers, you know, moving away from it. But a lot of independent games came out on it, and it was a great place for that.
So
Because it had it had a higher resolution. Like they would come out on the 3DS as well, but they looked better on the Vita because of the higher resolution.
I was wrong. Um, I don't know what this is. Maybe you can tell me. It's not a memory card slot. It's got a little port. I don't know what that is though.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
is it? There's nothing in there. Maybe that's not how small the memory card duos were they? Was it? It's a weird
I don't
shape.
know.
It looks like a U shape. See what I mean?
Yeah,
It's got like indent. Let me look that up real quick.
yeah. 'Cause I didn't have a Vita.
PlayStation Vita. Oh yeah, and also these are the cartridges in case anyone was interested in knowing.
Yeah, they look very much like Switch games.
Yeah, they do.
I guess Switch games look like them technically.
Yeah. I wonder if they taste like them. Should I do it? Let's see. Vita. Okay, 5-inch OLED multi-touch capacitive touchscreen. This was an OLED screen. Damn. Rear touchpad, 2 analog sticks, supports Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, quad core, blah 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 blah. It does not say. What the hell is the? What is? I'm just gonna Google specifically. What is the ports on the top of the PS Vita for? One of them is obviously games. It's an accessory port. Sony originally intended it for
Oh,
hardware editions like a camera or a TV out cable, but it was ultimately never used. Huh. It was not a part of the later slim model of the PSP. Okay. Interesting. So
yeah, that
then
makes sense.
Well, here's something that doesn't make much sense to me. Where does the memory card go?
I don't know.
There's no slot on here for a memory card. Where? What the hell? Where?
Is it like hidden under some kind of compartment or something? Like how
Maybe.
the Switch hides the memory card port under that,
On the bottom
like the
edge of the console. On the right side of the console. It's hidden under a protective flap. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that is wow, that is hidden. So I don't see it.
Oh yeah.
I never noticed that. Do I have a card in there? I do have a card in there.
You'd have to in order to save data.
No, it came with a gigabyte of flash data.
Oh, okay. That's still
Wow,
not
that
a lot though.
Jesus, look how tiny that is.
Yeah.
So that's 32 gigs. That little thing.
Yeah.
Good lord. I don't want to know how much I paid for that. Wow. Okay. Um Crazy. I wonder if it still turns on. Obviously it's not charged, so I can't try.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The UMD
I would
keeps it from the top spot, or not the UMD, the memory card.
yeah,
So I would say right below the 3DS.
sure.
I'm
Haven't
questioning it because it is so good.
it is good.
I would say because we can't see the 3DS XL on here, that
Mm,
I would probably go like that, but the 3DS XL being above the Vita. Because I
yeah.
mean, Jesus, look at that thing! It's fucking crazy. I can't get over how amazing that looks. I don't know. What do you think? That's where I would go.
Um yeah. I mean, well, I like the clamshell design for protecting the screen. There's not
True.
really a reason for the Vita to do that, so it's understandable why they didn't have it.
Hmm.
Well, I guess there's nothing preventing them from doing
Just
that with the
adding
system on the
one.
bottom and the screen on the top.
Well,
But
kind of. You've got a little sticky outies now.
yeah,
Little sticky outies on both
yeah,
sides. Maybe that's what prevented it. Although they could, yeah, that may have been a problem. But I mean, they could have had like indents in the thing in the clam that closed down,
right,
so that it sat in them. I don't know. What do you think?
right. Uh, it's hard to say.
They're
It's
both
hard
pretty
to
equal.
say.
Yeah,
They're both pretty equal.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're both pretty fantastic. All right. Well, we'll leave it there. There are
yeah.
others to get to. This one's weird. Neo Geo X.
Oh yeah. I've never used one of these.
A, B, C, and D buttons.
Yep, those were the buttons on the Neo Geo arcade machines.
Let's see. Let me get a quick descriptor here. So it's a hybrid video game console licensed by SNK, but manufactured by Tamo. Released in 2012, it features games that were popular on the original Neo Geo hardware and comes built in with 20 original Neo Geo games, with additional titles available on game cards. It was released as part of a bundle called the Neo Geo X Gold Limited Edition, which included a docking station, arcade stick, and a bonus game card. The docking station is modeled after the original Neo Geo 8ES console, and it's used for charging the handheld as well as connecting it to a television. Ooh, Switch style. The arcade stick is a replica of the original Neo Geo AES arcade stick that can be used as a controller when the handheld is connected to a TV through the docking station. It doesn't have sales data for this
Yeah, I
one.
think this was kind of a limited thing.
Let's see. Reception. Criticize the device's video quality on modern televisions. So the docking station, I guess, was not great. Not sure specifically what it was.
Yeah, I remember there being some concerns about the quality, but I don't remember
Specifically what it was.
exactly what they were.
Oh, here we go. Eurogamer criticized the quality of the display, calling it washed out, and writing that the scaling made games look fuzzy and ill-defined. He also criticized the image quality of the outputs on the docking station, calling the HDMI output muddy, and commenting that the composite output suffered from color bleeding and a hazing effect.
Yeah, that just that sounds like low quality hardware, honestly. Like they cheaped out on the like, what do you call it? The encoding chip that sends the signal to the TV. But having not when you used one, like I can't say like how bad is it, you know?
It says reportedly due to low manufacturing standards employed by Tomo. In 2013, SNK publicly ordered Tomo to cease not only manufacturing of the Neo Geo X, but to pull all existing stock from store shelves. Tomo in response,
so pretty bad.
Pretty bad, yeah. Tomo in response claimed to be in compliance with the contract between the companies, which had recently been extended to 2016, demanding that SNK retract the cease and desist claim. In early 2014, in a press statement sent to gaming website Polygon, Tomo once again claimed full contractual compliance and accused SNK of using underhanded tactics to undermine sales of their products. While failing to follow the routes of resolution put forward in the contract in the first place, and declining Tomo's offers of peaceful resolution, the CEO of the manufacturer said they were planning on taking action against SNK. Although there was no follow-up on that. So I think they just kind of like washed their hands of it and moved on, I guess.
Does not sound great.
No.
It doesn't look particularly great.
No, it doesn't. It looks cheap. I mean, I know they're going for a retro look.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look right. Okay. It's also square again. No rounded edges or anything, which is also another problem. No D-pad, just a stick. Although maybe you don't need a D-pad for.
I mean, that's how the Neo Geo was. So. Doesn't really bode well for the Neo Geo X.
I guess low D.
Sure.
Hard to say without us actually.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet that if it was that reviled and SNK was like, no, this thing's trash, stop making it, then I don't think we need to give it the benefit of the doubt. It all sounds pretty damning.
Yeah, it does. All right, next up, getting into more modern style here. We got the NVIDIA Shield, the portable NVIDIA Shield.
I will say, this thing looks stupid as fuck, but
it's a clamshell design.
It is shaped like an actual game controller, so it's ergonomic, and I kind of feel like that's more important for extended play.
I would agree. Let me see if I can find any specific deets on it here. Obviously developed by NVIDIA, released in 2013. It runs on Android Lollipop 5.1, featuring a flip 5-inch touchscreen display with 720p res. It's similar in shape to an Xbox 360 controller and similar in control setup to a DualShock controller with the, what do you call that, asymmetric sticks?
They're not asymmetric, they're symmetrical because they're both down low like that.
Symmetrical? Is that what they...
Yeah, symmetrical is when they match. Asymmetrical is when they don't.
Or offset, like 360. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2 analog sticks, a D-pad, and other buttons. It is the first device to use NVIDIA's Tegra 4 processor. It was originally called Shield or NVIDIA Shield, but since the launch of the Shield tablet, it's called the Shield Portable.
Yeah, so there was a tablet, and then there was also basically just like basically an Ouya. type thing where it was just a little TV box that had Android and played games,
Yeah.
and I also had like Netflix and stuff like that.
Well, it says through NVIDIA's Game Stream Suite, Shield Portable allows the streaming of games running on a desktop PC equipped with a GTX 650 or higher video card.
Mhm.
The Android 4.4.2 update for Shield Portable adds console mode, which allows a Shield Portable to be connected to a TV at 720p, 1080p, or 4K resolution, and controlled with a Bluetooth controller and software for mapping on-screen control buttons to the device's hardware buttons for Android games, which do not relatively support them. That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Had a mixed reception from critics. Generally, reviewers praised the performance of the device, but criticized the cost and lack of worthwhile games. I mean, it's a
This is
streamer.
another one that's kind of ahead of the curve, because now this is very common. There's
Yeah.
lots of these things,
And
and
this is discontinued.
yeah, this is well, and the hardware is like woefully out of date now.
Yeah.
But like the concept of it was like 10 years too early.
It was $299, which doesn't strike me as that expensive back then.
No, it wouldn't have been.
No, $299 for this, but they're saying generally reviewers criticize the cost and the lack of worthwhile games doesn't strike me as making any sense. It's a streaming device, so it's based on whatever you have on your PC. No.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it's like, well, the real appeal of a portable is that you don't have to be tethered down to a spot. Like you
True.
obviously have to be within range of your
Wi-Fi
PC.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, if you're that close, why not just play it on your PC? Like this is why I've never understood
The
like
PlayStation
the
Portal.
the PlayStation Portal.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just
It makes sense
it's a
for people with limited televisions and families. So
yeah,
if you have a one TV and one PlayStation,
yeah,
and you want to play PlayStation while someone's watching TV, you get the Portal. This is
yeah, but
probably a similar thing, I guess, where if like you had one PC and multiple people sharing it,
mhm.
maybe. Although I don't know what
But then
if
the
you
game
can use.
still has to run on the PC. It's not like they can use it for something else.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, can the PC still be used despite it streaming a game to the Nvidia Shield? That I don't know.
No, it can't, because it's just mirroring the PC screen. So everything that's happening on the screen of the Shield is what's happening on the PC.
Oh, well, then that really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And at the time, there weren't a lot of Android games that were like really needing this kind of power, because
Right.
it was all it was all
I
like
got the
Angry Birds type
power.
stuff. And I can't really imagine how you would use the touchscreen on this thing with it folding out like that. Like that's got to be really awkward to use.
Yeah. Hmm. Let's
So
see.
yeah, just kind of too ahead of its time. These days, I mean, there's obviously a huge market for this kind of stuff now, but Nvidia doesn't give a fuck. They're selling
Hand over
quadrillions
fist.
and
Yeah.
gazillions of dollars to data centers. No GPUs for us home users, the people who got them where they are.
I'm trying to figure out how to approach the grade for this one.
I mean, it looks stupid, but also kind of comfortable.
It does look
So
comfortable.
I wouldn't put it in D.
No.
Let's assume the best case scenario that you have a native Android game that you can use the buttons for, or assign on-screen buttons to the physical ones. Under those circumstances, because that's kind of the sort of thing it's built for. If you're using it to do the
What
kind
it's
of thing
meant
that it's
to.
best at,
Yeah.
like
Then
how
top of
would
C.
you? I don't know about top of C.
Well, we're not counting libraries, so
We're not counting libraries, but the
it's
other
got a
thing
nice
is,
screen. It's got a great controller. If we're not counting libraries, I feel like it's.
but then there's also the portability aspect of it.
Yeah, it's not portable though.
It's not very portable.
It's a fucking
At least
controller.
it's not pocketable.
No,
is the thing.
it's not even really portable because you can't leave your house. Really.
Well, you can for the native Android games that are on it, but if you want to stream your PC games.
Yeah. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Mm,
I think as an overall complete experience, it's probably not as good as the GBA.
yeah, the problem
And
is
the
we don't have the
form,
clamshell on here because the SPs do definitely like. Where we did we
yeah.
put the SP somewhere? Was it low B? I don't think we
We
graded
we
it.
didn't really put it anywhere because we didn't have a picture for it.
Yeah, I would say. Ooh, now that let me think about that now.
I mean,
Because
I would put the SP above, like if we're going back to the SP, I'd put it above the Game Gear.
yeah,
It's way more.
yeah,
We might have put the Game Gear too high because that thing's also not really pocketable.
yeah. The battery problem is an issue too.
Yeah, maybe we should hold off on the Shield for the moment and like readjust where the Game Gear goes.
Let me think about that.
Mm,
Despite the
don't
battery power, the design of the console is still strong.
yeah. You can fit the GBA in your pocket and fit the Game Gear in there.
True. How big is the Game Gear compared to your phone?
I mean, it's pretty thick.
Oh, it's
Do
thick.
you want me
Okay.
to? Do you want me to get out a ruler and measure it?
No, no, no. That's fine. I'm sure I
No,
can
it's
get. I'm sure I could get the
no. I've
dimensions
got a
on here.
ruler right here. We are talking about we're talking about 20 centimeters wide and
So the shield is
about
less than that.
11 centimeters tall. Now, how thick is it?
Oh.
Ooh, that was it hitting my desk. We are looking at um 3.5 centimeters thick. It is a girthy boy.
So the shield is actually bigger than that, which is funny. It's almost 6 centimeters. It's fucking huge. It's fucking huge. Okay. Hmm. I mean, how important is pocketability versus comfort and screen?
Mm,
That's the question that I'm trying to figure out because everything below it is more portable than it.
that is true.
So like I don't even know if that's a factor. I mean, it has to be a factor, but like it's not
How much
game.
of a factor
Yeah,
is it?
Game Gear's not trash. So because of its
No.
portability, so it's like if we're not considering portability and we're just considering comfort, it's more comfortable than the GBA. It seems like it.
Yeah, to hold, yeah, it would
Yeah,
be more
and
comfortable.
it's got a better screen.
Yeah,
But
okay. I guess it would go above the Game Gear then.
the shield or no
The
or
Shield.
the
Yeah,
shield. So top of C for shield, I guess.
sure. Yeah. Because having an ergonomic shape is a big deal for playing games over long periods of time. Which, like, if you're on a long train ride or a plane ride or something like that, is kind of an issue. Because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I was to bring that on a train ride or a plane ride, that'd probably be pretty comfortable playing the shield.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. Well, let's go with that. Well,
Yeah. So Switch is an interesting one to talk about because, like, the most comfortable way to play it is is with the Pro controller.
yeah.
That's not really like I'm assuming we're judging it based on how it is configured here, the sort of default configuration, because of
This
course
is the handheld,
this is
you
the
know,
handheld mode.
design. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of problems with this thing. you
there's a
know.
lot of problems, but like it's also like the fact that it's got such a big, like really crystal clear screen is really nice, but it
Yeah.
is also kind of huge. and
It's not
not
pocketable.
it is just beyond pocketable. The tablet itself is pocketable, but the second you attach a Joy-Con to
No
it, it
chance.
pushes
Yeah.
it over the line.
So
It's like right on the cusp.
here's my list of problems with the handheld version of this, which I'm not saying it's terrible because
No.
I played the shit out of it. I brought it to work, but it does have its problems. I find it extremely uncomfortable for long periods of time. You know, like maybe half an hour in, I'll start to get cramps. It's just not comfortable.
Yeah, because they're like, we got to make the Joy Cons as slim as possible, so we don't make this thing a mile long. But that means that we also have to cram everything together.
Yeah. The other
Which is
problem,
definitely an issue.
yeah. The other problem I have is the sticks. They break pretty damn easily.
Yeah,
Joy-Con
the
drift
sticks,
is a huge thing.
they drift so easily.
And then the other problem I have with it is the kind of ridiculously sized bevel on this thing, or bezel, whatever you want to call it. It's huge.
It is pretty big. It's not the I don't think it's like a huge problem, but
It just
it's definitely
looks,
bigger than it
yeah.
needs to be.
It just looks almost the whole time I ever played it. Every so often, I would look down at it and be like, man, I wish the rest of the screen was fucking here because it would look
Yeah.
so much more impressive.
And clearly they could do that because the bezel on the OLED version is
Much thinner.
way thinner.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the main issues I have. The main issue is the comfortability. It's not comfortable to hold, and it's heavy. It's kind of heavy, which I understand, but
yeah,
but it is kind of heavy. But the controllers are cool. You get the Joy-Con thing. It's got a lot of different modes that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
But it is Gen 1 of the new market of basically portable consoles. Like console level,
Yeah, and this actually manages to achieve that.
Yeah. But it is the first, which means it's going to make mistakes, and it did make mistakes. It's not comfortable. That bevel's fucking massive. The Joy-Con drift is a huge problem. And using the Joy-Cons as individual controllers sucks. They're so fucking bad. They're so small.
It's the worst. Like it's better than not being able to do it.
Yeah.
But
for kids, it's probably not bad. But for an adult or a teenager, they're freaking. They're so small.
Yeah, it is. It's basically an official workaround.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's nice that you can do it, but it's not a great experience.
Man, I think PSP Go is too high. Now that I'm looking at this.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. It's not that comfortable.
We can move it. I do like the sleekness of it, but if it's not comfortable, that's kind of more important.
Because the buttons are like right on the edge of the sleeve that you pull down, so you're kind of playing it like, you're kind of playing it like this.
Yeah.
Which is not comfortable. I would argue. Yeah, I think PSP goes way too high, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Between the fact that it's missing a bunch of games because of its digital-only design.
Yeah.
And the button placement. The screen's nice. Size is really nice. Oof, I'm going pretty low, though. You might have to keep me from going too low, but I'm thinking
how low are you thinking?
Like here.
That might be a little bit drastic, but
where can you meet me? Where would you meet me?
I don't know, because I'm thinking about it, and maybe not. Maybe that is.
I completely forgot about the button placement on the PSP Go. I don't know. We must have just hovered over that. It's
Let
it's
me, you know what? Let me look at a picture of it
sure,
extended
sure.
so I can get a better idea of that.
Oof, God, yeah. I forgot how. Yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty fucking
oh,
low.
they. Why are they so close to the edge?
I know.
Why are they not
Like,
closer? There's so much empty space in the middle. Like the nub is in a good place.
yeah.
I like that.
Well,
Like
kind
why? Well,
kind of.
it's in a better place than it is on the base PSP, where it's just kind of tucked off in a corner.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. But why are the start and select buttons like in the same spot on the other side,
Yeah.
and then they just leave all this empty space? Yeah, they could, and there's like even the boundaries around D-pad and the face buttons are pretty big. Like they could have. Hmm.
Yeah. It's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't look comfortable at all.
Ugh.
Cool
Yeah,
design, but cooler than it is functional.
right. Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like they were more concerned with form, with regards to its appearance, and not form with regards to its function.
Yeah, I
Which
can't
is,
imagine playing for more than 20 minutes on that thing before my hands cramp.
yeah, you'd get like a weird.
There's
You know how people would talk about the claw grip for playing the PSP for games that needed the D-pad and the slider.
yeah,
This looks like you'd get like a weird inverted claw grip where your thumbs are hooked down in a weird way
yeah,
instead of like
like that.
hooked to the side with your fingers up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and it would like the muscle like that's between your thumb and your index finger. Yeah, I could just imagine the type of soreness you'd get in there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a shame because it does look cool,
Looks beautiful.
but it doesn't look
Yeah, I think we
super comfortable.
jumped to conclusions on this one.
Yeah, yeah, we might have. We
Because that's
might
what
have.
I kept looking at the PSP Go, and I was just like, "Why is it so high again?" And
Yeah.
then I couldn't remember. Um, it might even be lower than this, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and kind of stay there. But maybe not.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't,
we still well, I don't think we can put it lower than the original Game Boy because we do have to remember like the screen.
yeah,
Obviously, part of
yeah,
that
it's
is a
true.
product of the era, but also like it's better.
It's true. It's true.
Like it's just
It's
it
true.
is better by such an objective margin.
Okay, so if that's there, we have the Switch now.
Mhm.
Well, let me just put it on the board and just kind of see if we can feel it out
Yeah,
here. It's uh,
it's tough. It's tough because like you've had experiences with it that are really comfortable, but they all involve using a better control setup, and we have to
yeah,
judge it based on the handheld
on the handheld
configuration.
style. Yeah.
Like the amount of time I spent with Zelda with like a proper ish controller
Oh yeah,
instead of, yeah,
100%. Yeah, I the
yeah,
only time I would use it in handheld mode was at work on my lunch break.
yeah,
That was it. As soon as I got home, in the dock you go, buddy. Going with the
yeah.
controller.
You've kind of got to separate it, but it's like so much of your playtime is probably in docked mode.
Yeah. But there's a reason for
Ugh.
that, right?
Yeah, because it's built to do that and
Yeah.
it's better. But we're judging it based on the handheld experience. So, based on the handheld experience and purely on the handheld experience, it does go lower.
Lower than what?
So, well, then where you've got it
Oh, okay.
on the screen right now.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not comfortable, but the screen's amazing.
the screen is
Beside,
incredible.
the bevel notwithstanding,
Yeah,
the Joy-Con's still an issue. Like the Joy-Con do drift is a problem still.
it's like every good thing is countered by a
Yeah,
bad thing.
right?
I mean that's kind of the definition of a C, then, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
right in the middle. Where in C does it go?
Is it is it better or worse
I
than the PSP Go? I have to assume it's slightly better.
Yeah,
I could hold the Game Boy Color for
yeah. You can hold the Game
6 hours.
Boy Color forever.
Yeah. Can't hold the Switch for more than an hour, probably, before my hands cramp.
Yeah,
Half an hour, maybe, depending on the day. Uh, but I would say it's
I think
more comfortable than the PSP Go, based on what I
I
was
think
seeing.
that's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if we need to include this one or not, but I did put it in the list. Switch Lite.
I've never actually used a Switch Lite before.
Well,
Oh, you've got one. I think I've held yours before. Yeah,
yeah, I have this exact one actually.
yeah.
Um, it is
So,
it
so tell.
it is more comfortable than the Switch. Well, let me get my Switch and just.
Yeah, just do like a side by side with them.
Oh, my Switch is on. Okay. All right, so this is the Switch.
Hmm.
This is the Switch Lite. So the screen is smaller, I would say, but I don't know if it's smaller if you include the bevel that's on the
It
Switch.
it is. I know that it is a little bit smaller, but when you account for the black space, it's not that much smaller.
I'm feeling. I'm experimenting. I don't like this having I don't like having to do this. I feel like
Yeah,
my thumb's crunching to get down to the D-pad.
yeah,
Same thing with the down here. It's not as bad on this side, but
yeah.
it's still not
You kind of
great.
have to shift how you grip it.
I have carpal tunnel, and when I do
Yeah,
that, I can feel the tendon in my wrist not liking
yeah.
it, liking
You're
that.
basically doing like a less exaggerated version of the inverse claw I was describing for the PSP Go.
Now with this, let's see. Mm, the thing that the light has going for it is it's way lighter,
Mhm.
way lighter. So you don't have that going against it. Um, it still unfortunately has the bad thumb placement.
Yeah,
It's too much on both sides. Like I get
yeah.
the same issue there. Um, it is a lot lighter though. Like
I
crazy
find
light.
it very strange that they didn't make it a clamshell design because the Switch Lite can't be docked, so there's no reason why it needs to maintain that form factor.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm noticing a difference here on one particular thing, and that is the height of the Joy Cons is much smaller,
Mhm.
much shorter. Um,
It just seems very strange that they wouldn't um, basically create a second half of it so that you could spread the buttons out more comfortably instead of having to have your thumbs all cramped in there.
I would say the light is definitely more comfortable, but only because it's lighter. Everything else is exactly the same feeling
And we just
wise.
put it one slot ahead, I guess.
Yeah, I would say one slot ahead of the regular Switch. It's actually kind of crazy how much lighter it is. It's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
All right, this next one's a weird one, but I thought I would include it anyway. The Playdate.
The play date. There are going to be like 5 people out there who are super happy that this is on the list.
Yeah,
I, I
this
don't I don't understand the play date people.
me either. I don't get it. Apparently, it's very fun. Some of the games are very very fun, but they're very
Yeah,
simple
apparently I've
games.
heard.
Yeah. So for those who don't
It's
know what
just
this is, it's its own platform that has its own games, and there is obviously a D-pad and an A and B button, but there's also a crank for
yeah.
it's its own unique gameplay mechanic where you can crank
It's
things.
just like a widescreen monochrome screen.
Yeah. Yeah, black and white
It,
screen
like it looks like a Game Boy, but it's a lot more powerful.
and fatter.
But it's also not super powerful because it's using like a low power chip. But obviously, it's compared to compared to what's in the Game Boy, it's it's a million times faster.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It looks incredibly uncomfortable to me. It's
it,
square.
it it's well, the square isn't necessarily a problem, but the way that it's laid out with the crank on it, I think it looks weird.
Yeah, you'd have to hold it from the D-pad side to do the crank, which must,
Yeah, there's not really a lot of space for your thumb to go there
you know.
without covering part of the screen.
Yeah, it doesn't look ergonomic at all to me.
Yeah,
Um, Having never played it, it's tough for me to say specifically because I know
right.
a lot of people like it, but it doesn't look comfortable. How could that
Yeah,
possibly be comfortable?
yeah,
It's pretty much a square box,
yeah. With buttons that are just in.
random
Yeah, it
places.
just.
Looks like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
grips, nothing. Just
No,
um, I don't know.
but I don't think we can throw it in trash because neither of us have ever
No,
played it.
no, I
We
wasn't gonna
can't
put it
say
there.
it's definitely the worst, but it sure doesn't look very comfortable.
Oh, we're so far over that there's a bunch missing on C. I just realized.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do we want to put this in D? Because it kind of looks like a D to me.
kind of looks like a D. uh, I mean, maybe bottom of C,
A crank. I don't know, man. It's got a crank on the side.
like that.
That's got to make it really awkward to hold, just to play regular games.
Okay, so if we put it here, where's the speaker on the thing? Oh, it's above the crank, or it's beside the crank. Okay. Uh, yeah. Your hand's not covering a speaker. and
I guess
there's no
it's got that going
and
for
there's
it.
no buttons below the speaker for some fucking stupid reason. So
Yeah.
I guess sure, sure. All right, now we're getting to some serious categories here. Steam Deck.
Hmm.
So I've never held
Uh,
this, so it's gonna be hard for me to judge it.
I have.
Okay.
It is actually pretty comfortable. It does have like sort of like shaped grips on the back. It doesn't look like it from the front, but they do extend outwards more than the rest of the unit, so there is a bit of a handhold on it.
Okay.
Um,
The D-pad looks in a weird spot. Is it
it
comfortable?
it it does look it does
And the
seem to be in
buttons
a weird
actually,
spot.
they're like
It is actually more comfortable than it looks. I
okay.
was I was kind of surprised.
What
Um,
about the pads? How they feel?
they're fine.
Okay.
I'm not really into the whole like, oh, I'll
Replace them
use
as a
a.
mouse.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of gotta, but like, I would never use them in a game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, what about like an RTS game? Would you play StarCraft?
Oh, I would never play StarCraft on a screen like this. I'd want something
You'd want
big.
mouse controls.
I'd want a mouse. Yeah, that's why I never owned the N64 version of StarCraft.
It also looks
Though
heavy.
I'm a huge hypocrite, and I did play Command and Conquer on the PlayStation. That
Well, yeah,
also
but
wasn't a great.
you can use the touchpads as a mouse though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 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 but it's not.
Not good enough.
I wouldn't for that kind of stuff. It's
Okay.
there because it needs to be.
Okay.
Um,
The system
yeah,
looks heavy. Is it heavy?
it's not like super heavy.
Heavier than the
It's
Switch?
I don't know how much it weighs.
Check.
It does feel heavier than the Switch because I mean there's more in there. But I wasn't like, oh man, this is so like, oh, I can't lift it. It was about as heavy as I kind of expected it to be.
It's about
Maybe a
23
little bit lighter.
ounces. And so there's the Steam Deck is 23 ounces. The Switch is 10. So it's twice as heavy as a Switch.
Well, you have to remember there's a lot more stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean the Switch isn't like super heavy, but I wouldn't want it to
Part
be
of the
twice
part of the
as.
reason that the Switch's weight kind of gets on you is because it's not very ergonomic to hold.
Yeah, and the Steam Deck is.
The Steam Deck is more ergonomic, so it doesn't.
Doesn't feel as
Now,
bad.
mind you, I didn't use it for very long.
Yeah.
So I don't have like an idea of how it is in extended play.
Let's
But
see.
like holding it, it was like, yeah, this feels it's heavier than other handhelds, but it is also basically a laptop. So I'm not surprised. Like it's not egregiously heavy. It's as heavy as it needs to be, kind of
So
thing.
it says it's well regarded for its ergonomic grips and full size controls, making it comfortable for about an hour or two of gameplay. But significant weight often causes hand fatigue, wrist strain, or numbness during extended play sessions. I don't know if I would play more than 2 hours on a handheld personally, but
I don't know if you could play more than 2 hours on this. I don't know what the battery life is like, but I can't imagine it's amazing.
good point. Let's see.
Because it is, I mean, it is running Linux, like it's a full computer.
Battery.
And it is, I mean, I guess if you just use it as a computer and not like for gaming, it will probably last longer. But because it's a gaming machine and you're kind of pushing it, it is going to drain faster.
There's no specifics about battery life because it significantly depends on the
Yeah.
settings that you run your games at and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. It does have a big bevel too. I don't think it's as big as the Switch's bevel.
No, it's not.
No, it's a little bit thinner. Well, it's close. It's definitely you can definitely see it. Whereas on the Switch Lite there isn't one.
Yeah.
I mean there is, but it's like it's like negligible. You can see it.
Yeah, it's very tiny. It's basically what you'd expect.
Yeah. Okay.
Because an edge-to-edge screen is actually not possible. There needs to be
Some
a little bit of edge to it.
So the touchpads are not a success. They're functional, but not a game changer.
Yeah, like I would never use them to play a mouse-controlled game. They're there to move a cursor around an interface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not there to.
Not there to game.
Yeah.
Well, would it be good for something like Civ? Good enough for something like Civ, or no?
I guess like Civilization is turn-based, so it's not like you need to make quick.
But would it be
movements.
annoying? Like, is it good enough to not be annoying? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, if I go to move a unit.
So I'm a terrible person to ask about this because I inherently hate capacitive touchpads. I hate them on laptops.
Okay.
I hate them on everything.
So you would say it's not good enough.
So to me, it's not. But I just hate them.
To ask.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay. But
I would say that if you don't mind them, if you okay, let me put it to you like this: would you mind playing Civilization with a laptop trackpad instead of a mouse?
No, fuck no. That would drive me nuts.
No,
okay.
then
no.
you probably wouldn't like this either.
Okay, so the touchpads are useless for gaming. How's the stick and the sticks and the D-pad and the buttons? They all feel okay?
The sticks and the buttons all feel fine.
Okay.
They feel.
What about the buttons on top? How do they feel?
They're also fine. Like it feels like a quality product.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like they really cheaped out anywhere.
Okay. Now it is twice as heavy as the Switch 1, which I have to take some points off because
it is more ergonomic.
But it is ergonomic, so they can't kind of cancel each other out a little bit there. I wish I had experience with one to know for sure how I would feel about it.
Yeah, and I haven't had a ton of hands-on time with it. My brother-in-law has one, so
Do we keep it off the list? It's hard. Like it's
yeah.
hard.
No, we can't
No.
keep it off the list. It's the Steam Deck. I would say,
I
um,
mean, from everything you're saying, would it not be better than the Vita?
would it not be better? Hey,
Like, would it not be the top dog? How could it not be based like without me using it to know how it feels?
I don't think we can put it in the top spot simply
Oh,
because
it's not
both of
portable.
us have not used it. So I think we need to agree that something takes the top spot from
Okay,
hands-on experience.
fair.
So I think just for that alone, it can't.
Okay,
It's
so
definitely. I would put it.
it's not portable. I mean, it is portable, but it's not.
It's not pocketable.
It's not pocketable, so we have to take that into account.
Yeah,
It's better. Okay, let's start. Let's start at uh, NVIDIA Shield. It's better than the NVIDIA Shield.
it's better than the Nvidia Shield
It's
because
better
it
than
is it is a more proper. I mean, we're not taking games into account, but
no.
obviously, like in terms of system functionality,
Yes.
which is a part of what we're judging here, because we're judging the systems and not the
Yes.
games. In terms of system functionality, it has way better software support. It
Yes.
is ergonomic enough that I would say it is similar to using a controller. Not exactly the same, but close enough that I would say it's about the same as the Shield in terms of ergonomics. But the superior functionality of it definitely puts it above the Shield.
And a better screen.
Oh, yeah, way better screen.
Is it better than the PSP? It's got to be better than the PSP. It's got 2 sticks. That alone is a bonus.
Yes, I will say it is better than the PSP.
It's better than the DS. I would say so. It's got more buttons. It's got more functionality. It's got a
Yes,
bigger screen. Okay. Is it better than the DS Lite?
that that is tough. DS Lite. Is the DS Lite does look really nice.
It's super slick
Um,
and it's pocketable.
and it's pocketable.
Everything above it is pocketable.
Yeah. And the lack of pocketability here is definitely, I would say, the thing that's holding it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So I would say bottom of
Um,
A or top of.
I think bottom of A is a good place for it because it is, uh, functionally speaking, the best device on this list.
Hmm.
But in terms of its, uh, in
Pocketability.
terms of its portability, at some point that does have to hold it back somewhat.
The battery life would probably hold it back too, because I can't imagine it's meant for
Yeah,
like
but
if you took this thing on a trip, like a train trip, and you're going to be on it
yeah.
for the next 3 days. I mean, you could charge it on a train though.
Yeah, you can charge on it. Like you basically have to consider it the way you would consider battery life on a laptop, which if you're gaming is not going to be amazing. And on a laptop, obviously, you have other things you're going to use it for. I mean, you could technically do like word processing on this thing if you wanted to, because
All right.
it is just a full Linux computer, but
I'm
it
good.
is focused on gaming.
I'm good with where it is. That's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
All right. We only have 2 left. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 left. The ROG Ally. ROG.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
one I have held at the store.
Yes, we have used the same one,
Yeah. Yeah.
the same Best Buy demo unit.
Now, it's hard to gauge weight because they're tied down to a fucking
Yeah,
thing.
and that's always going to hang on it a little bit.
Yeah. I found it pretty comfortable. It doesn't have the touchpads.
It doesn't have the touchpads, which, like, I mean, I think they. First of all, it does have a touch screen, so you can navigate with that. The Steam Deck also has a touch screen.
Okay, so why did they feel the need for a touchpad if there's a touch screen?
I don't
Like if I was gonna
know.
play Civ, I would just use the touchscreen. I feel like that would be way easier than using
Don't you need to
touchpad.
mouse over? Don't you need to use like mouse over and right and left click in Civilization?
Ooh, good point. So they'd have to build in touchscreen controls to the game in order to.
Yeah, in order for it to really
to
be
register
effective.
that. Okay.
Now I know now with Windows you can like touch and hold and it will convert it into a right
Right
click, but I
click.
don't know if that would work in a game.
Yeah, you would think it would have to be like coded that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really depends on how it handles like just generic Windows inputs, and I can't speak to that. So
Okay. Well, so then either way, it's the same as the Steam Deck because
it's
yeah.
basically the same as the Steam Deck. I also found it to be like equally comfortable. Um,
Does it have the
this
same?
the screen is better on the ROG Ally, but I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes because are you really going to be running anything at full 1080p anyway?
No. And also the sticks are offset on the ROG.
Hmm.
So that's a preference for individuals who either prefer the symmetric
Yeah,
sticks or the offset
I'm
sticks.
fine either way. I have a slight preference for the sort of PlayStation style, but
Me
it
too.
honestly doesn't matter
No,
to
no,
me. Like I
I
can
can
go,
get used to either. Yeah,
yeah, I can do either one.
I frequent between the Xbox and PlayStation controller anyway. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, does the ROG have any advantages over the Steam Deck?
Um,
Let me Google that.
like I said, the screen is the only one that comes to mind, but you're not going to be using that full resolution anyway. You're going to be running at like 720p and upscaling.
It has more processing power, a better display, and software compatibility. I don't know what it means, but is it because it can run Windows?
Yeah, it runs Windows, which
Mm.
depending on how you look at it might be an advantage or a disadvantage.
Oh, and it has a
Because
120 hertz variable refresh rate screen.
but again, are you going to be using 120 hertz on this thing? Are you really going to be pushing it that hard?
True. Um,
Like it's nice that it can do it, but like running like imagine trying to run Cyberpunk on this thing at 120 hertz. Like, is it ever going to reach that? Are you willing to burn the battery out that fast? You know what I mean? Like
I
it has it, but
yeah.
is it of any use? Is it really worth considering as an advantage?
I,
It
I,
looks nice on paper, but
I would say just by the nature of it, it has to go just right above it. It's more powerful. It has a
mhm.
slightly better screen.
You know what? I'll agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Um, as I was going to say, SteamOS has better integration with Steam. It uses fewer resources than Windows, but also it's Linux based, so you could just put it on the Ally if you wanted to.
Yeah,
There's nothing that stops you from installing SteamOS on it,
there you
or
go.
Windows on the Steam Deck for that matter, if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, they're pretty
So
equal overall, but I would say the ROG has a
I
slight
guess
advantage.
for that matter, the Ally would go above it. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good call.
All
It
right.
is more expensive, but we're not
Yeah,
really judging that.
it's hard to
And
compare
of course,
pricing for all these.
everything is crazy expensive now anyway.
Yeah. All right. The only one remaining is Switch 2. How much of an
Yeah.
advantage do you think this thing has over Switch 1?
Well, let me once again go grab them.
I have to imagine Switch 2 is more comfortable. Significantly so? I don't
One,
know. It does have
there's
significantly less
two.
bevel. It is more powerful.
Okay, so the Switch 2 is bigger,
Yeah, oh yeah.
which I mean it's already not pocketable, so I guess it doesn't really matter
No,
that
when we're
much.
comparing the two, no.
Um,
The bevel is smaller on the screen, I
it is
believe.
definitely smaller.
The weight is it's significantly heavier. It's 8 ounces heavier than the Switch One. It's almost double the weight of the Switch One.
Hmm.
I did not expect that. Do the controller does the feeling of holding it feel less crampy? I guess is the
Um,
question.
hard to say.
It looks like it should because it's bigger, but I don't know if that translates because it's the same shape.
Yeah, it's actually like I'm comparing the like it is a little bit taller, but comparing like the positioning of the stick and the buttons, they're almost totally identical in how large they are and how Like the distance between the stick and the buttons is almost exactly the same.
It looks like the Switch 2 might be closer. Like you see what I mean? Like the distance between the stick and the buttons looks further apart on the Switch 1 than the Switch 2.
Um,
But it could just be the image though that I'm seeing. Like there's a pretty significant gap on here. Like if I put my finger in there.
I think it's because the cap on the stick is wider. It makes it look like it's not as significant.
Oh, okay.
Because like I can fit my thumb in, and it feels like basically the same amount of space.
Okay.
So
So it
if there's a
seems
difference,
identical.
it's too minute for me to tell. So yeah, ergonomically,
Identical.
um,
Actually,
it's very
ergonomically
different.
worse because it's heavier.
Um, it's not super. Like it's not. It is heavier, but it's not so much heavier that it's an issue.
I mean, it's almost twice the
Um,
weight. If you were feeling it just, picking it up and being like, oh, yeah, this doesn't feel too bad. That's how I feel about the Switch 1. But when you hold it for 30 minutes to an hour, then that's when it starts to, like, you get crampy and you
yeah,
get uncomfortable. So I can't imagine the Switch 2 would be better if the ergonomics are the same. But the weight is higher. You know what I'm saying? But the screen is better
the screen is a lot better.
and it is more powerful.
Mhm. I guess I would put it. I just put it above the Switch. I guess.
Below the light, though, or above the light? That's the question. That's a question.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think I would probably put it above the light.
Yeah. I can't believe the gap. It's hard. There we go. The gap is so. It feels so big between the like it just looks large, like a large gap between the stick and the D-pad and the stick and the buttons. It, you know what? The gap on the light might actually be bigger than the Switch, but it's probably relatively similar. So then the Switch 2 would go there.
Yeah.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the PlayStation Vita is your winner for best handheld design.
Well, technically, the 3DS XL is the winner, but we don't have it on the list.
Did we put that above the? Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
put that
said you
above the
put it
Vita.
above.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me switch that. Reversal. This beast is the winner by a very small margin. I would say the new 3DS XL, and the Vita are near
Pretty much
perfection.
neck and neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
near portable perfection that I wish would come back. Honestly, um, they really are amazing. And like I cannot put this in my pocket. No fucking chance can I put this in my pocket. No way.
No.
Even the 3DS XL is it's kind of a beast. Let's see. A pocket test. Oh yeah, it fits. It's not stretching it or anything, but it fits. Wow, crazy. Did we miss any that you wanted to have on this list that you're noticing?
Nothing that was absolutely critical. Um, just as like throwing a bone to the N-Gage, the QD version, you don't have to take the battery out, so that automatically makes it better. But like you'd still own an N-Gage. So
so it's still
it's
trash.
it's like, well, it's no longer trash, but it's definitely in D tier.
It might be an F tier. This is a new tier. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Not quite trash, but still a piece of shit.
Yeah, then there's like you mentioned the Gizmondo. The Gizmondo was very unremarkable, except for the fact that the one of the guys who owned the company apparently tore a Ferrari in half,
Yeah.
going like 900 miles down the highway.
Wasn't
but he
he
walked
like
away without a scratch on him.
Wasn't he like a member of like the mafia or something like that?
Yeah. He apparently, allegedly, had
Allegedly.
ties to the Swedish mafia, which is
Jesus.
a combination of words that's just kind of
The
remarkable.
Swedish mafia. Yeah.
He did go to prison for criminal activities. I don't know if that's part of that, but
Interesting.
so that was a thing. In fact, I think he went to prison again, like a decade later or something.
Not a
So
sketchy fella.
yeah, sketchy fellow. There's the Tapwave Zodiac, which was one of those like PDA game systems. Um, Kind of a contemporary of the Gizmondo, and also kind of equally unremarkable.
Mm.
And
Mm.
but it doesn't even have like the notable factor of like one of the heads of the company is a criminal. So
Yeah, it says he was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison in California in 2006. He pleaded guilty to embezzlement and drunken driving after crashing $1 million Ferrari Enzo at 162 miles per hour in
yeah,
Malibu.
I cannot believe that guy lived.
How did you survive that? That is
There's
insane.
photos of it, by the way. It's like, how the fuck did that man live?
Let's see if
Actually, no, I believe so. I think it was a race
oh my god, yeah,
style
it's torn in
Ferrari.
half. It's literally
So it had like
the
it
back
had
is gone.
yeah, yeah. But I think it had like a cockpit style driver's seat, and I think that might have been the thing that saved him because it was like designed better to accommodate high speed crashes than like a like a road vehicle.
I can't
But
believe he
even so,
was.
that's still incredible.
Oh yeah, so he served his time in prison and then he was deported. So he's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
there you
gone.
go.
Bye bye. Yeah, I was gonna say like I would not want that man in my country. 162 miles per hour on public
Yeah.
roads. Are you
Yeah,
psycho?
that is a threat to the general public.
Brutal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our tier maker for handheld console designs. Congratulations to Vita and the new 3DS XL. If you want to follow me on the socials, I'm at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
And I am at Ninjas on Blue Sky.
If you want to email us, you can do so at co.up.podcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and join us on the Co-op Club Discord community server where you can find myself and so many others talking about gaming, wrestling, and more. And of course, patreon.com/co-op entertainment, where you can throw us $1 a month to help support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Until Monday for the 99th episode of Press Pause Gaming Podcast.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to talking about the news on this week's show.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good
Oh
one.
no, it's gonna be a good one in the sense that it's gonna be a bad one, and we're gonna be angry and upset.
Yes, yes. Get back to gaming. If the companies still
Right.
exist.
Yeah, if the companies still exist.